Welcome, everyone, to the Commentary Podcast. I am your host, Pat Brennan. Today on the podcast, we are going to be continuing our Christopher Nolan director series. We are going to be watching Batman Begins. It was released in 2005. It is written by Christopher Nolan and David S. Goyer, and also directed by Christopher Nolan. The cast of the film includes Christian Bale, Michael Caine, Liam Neeson, Katie Holmes, Gary Oldman, Cillian Murphy, Tom Wilkinson, Rutger Hauer, Ken Watanabe, and Morgan Freeman. Driven by tragedy, billionaire Bruce Wayne dedicates his life to uncovering and defeating the corruption that plagues his home, Gotham City. Unable to work within the system, he instead creates a new identity, a symbol of fear for the criminal underworld, the Batman. Joining me once again for the rewatch of the director series are my two co-hosts, Vikash Patel and Martin Padilla. I will once again drop all of their info in the episode description, so please give them a follow. I'm going to be watching the 4K copy I have of Batman Begins, but it is currently available to stream for free on Max. You can also rent it on Apple for $4, on Fandango at home for $4, and on Amazon for $3.79. I say we get things kicked off. We are going to be pressing play on Batman Begins, and I hope you do as well. In 3, 2, and 1.
You got the Warner Brothers logo.
Good old WB in black and white.
They stink now.
It's not them. It's just David Zaslav.
Yeah, I saw him sitting courtside at the Knicks game. I was like, they should throw the basketball at him.
Get bent, brother.
Bats.
You guys remember the DC logo used to mean something?
Yeah. Well, actually, at this time, it didn't really.
Didn't have much, right?
Yeah.
It did as soon as Christopher Nolan's name was in the game.
How many times have
Didn't
y'all
have
seen
much.
this movie?
I think this might be my least watched Batman movie. Actually, between like the Christopher Nolan movies, I'd say.
I've seen this movie 20 plus times. It has to be.
I think I watched this one more than Rises for sure.
I know that for sure.
I'm a real stickler when it comes to like watching movies. I don't know why I can't just go and watch like the third or fourth installment of a franchise. If I watch the third or fourth movie, I have to watch all of them. So I've seen this play about as many times as I've seen The Dark Knight.
For me, I think it's just this was on FX all the time. So like I'm talking like 2006, 2007, and then they're playing the trailers for The Dark Knight, and it was everything.
It was a simpler time.
Bruce. It was a better time, honestly.
Yeah, the studio didn't have much faith in this because of how Batman Forever did.
I mean,
I don't blame them. I mean, sort of with how it's perceived, I guess.
if I remember right, Nolan was talking about how he essentially saw X-Men, the 2000 X-Men. He's like, oh, wait, we can actually do something with this, like something serious. So that's the only good thing I'm going to say about Bryan Singer.
Bryan Singer's a decent filmmaker. His unfortunately is just, or he just is unfortunately a terrible person.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he said he wanted to go for more like a darker tone as opposed to the previous installments, which were obviously very like comic booky. Made it get more realistic. That's why there's like less color in this movie. All right, let me hear your Rachel voices.
We'll get to it. Rachel! That's me. I'll go high with it.
Rachel!
You have to all time it. You have to all time it when he's jumping over the camera.
Yeah, we just all gonna say it at the same time.
I forgot the comedian. He used to have a late night show. And I think one of the sketch comedy people like on YouTube, they did like a parody of Batman. That's what's always stuck with me.
Oh, I know you're talking about the guy that's like Pete Holmes.
Yes, Pete Holmes. Yes, he's the one playing
Holmes, yeah,
Batman.
he had a like I think he also did like a sketch where he's it's like an X-Men sketch where he's Professor Xavier as well as Wolverine, I think. And
Oh,
so it's like he's like interviewing like all the X people to like be in the school, and it's just like a really funny skit. There's like multiples of them too.
what y'all know about Neeson's? Y'all watch Key and Peele? I don't know if y'all know about that Neeson's, man.
I've actually only seen a few episodes of Key and Peele.
Or YouTube.
Key and Peele's pretty solid. I like it.
Yeah, I think the even Christian Bale said that like with Christopher Nolan that they both thought the previous movies just concentrated more on like the villain as opposed to actual like Batman and Bruce Wayne.
I wonder what happened in The Dark Knight.
Yeah,
I
that's why I
think
think
it's more
they
like
wanted this to
I think it's
like
50-50, honestly,
yeah,
in The Dark Knight. As much as people say, "Oh, that's only the Joker's movie." No, it's not.
and that's why this one's just mainly essentially him.
I feel like you learn a lot about Bruce because of the Joker, and I think that that kind of like yeah, you definitely focus on the Joker a little bit, but all that focus doesn't happen without Bruce's sort of character work that's done in this.
Yeah.
Actually,
What's y'all's best Liam Neeson film?
Dark Man, let's go.
Dark.
Dark Man.
I'd have to think.
That's probably. I mean, his best performance is definitely like Schindler's List.
I was thinking
Yeah.
Schindler's List is probably the best movie.
The movie I've seen him most in is probably this, and then like Taken.
My dad loved Taken for some reason. My dad doesn't know actors by their names. He just calls them the guy from Taken.
Yeah, I know. That's what my dad does too. Like the guy from Day After Tomorrow. Who is that? Jake Gyllenhaal.
Jake Gyllenhaal. My dad knows Daniel Craig is the guy from Casino Royale. He doesn't even call him the guy from
James
Casino
Bond.
Royale. He just calls him Casino Royale. He doesn't even call him James Bond.
You know Casino Royale? He's in that new like detective movie.
He will straight up say that.
Hey, I understand the vibes.
I was actually reading up on this, and Warner Brothers rejected a story that Joss Whedon pitched them in 2002
Thank God.
Good.
about a Batman origin.
Oh, I heard about this actually.
We got to go to Iceland at this. Like I like Iceland has been on my like bucket list for life because of this Oblivion, Interstellar.
I'm gonna say something pretty blasphemous, but I've never been that impressed by Oblivion.
That's
I
fine.
think you're gonna say about. I think you're gonna say about Iceland, and I've been that
Oh.
impressed by Iceland.
Oh, and what's
Doesn't
Noah
impress me. There's too
from
much ice.
too much ice. But
Think of a better name. You're about Darren Aronofsky's film.
yeah. Because they shot there. It looks fantastic. Movie, yeah, but you know, the location's fantastic.
For someone who doesn't believe in God, Darren Aronofsky makes quite a few films about him.
Yeah, I know. Noah and Mother back to back was a hell of a duo.
I mean, Pi isn't really about religion, but it kind of is. So is The Fountain. What was the
True.
last one he made? Oh, The Whale too. It was very religious themes.
I'm not gonna say anything about the whale because the hater alert's gonna go so high.
I like The Whale. I don't even care. Let him drag me.
No, people like the movie. It's just I fundamentally just that if there's a 0-star movie for me, it is that one. It's just me. Okay, this score right here is James Newton Howard and Hans right together.
I
Yeah, I
believe
think
so.
they wanted to like collab for like a long time, and they chose this one.
4K on this looks really good.
Good time to go on a rant. So many people have ripped this off. Have y'all ever heard of the show Arrow? The Arrowverse? They rip
Yeah.
Batman Begins off every single chance they get. Like, oh, who did this already? Batman Begins. Let's just keep doing the same thing Batman Begins does. Oh yeah, I never recognized Ken Wannabe in this role. Like, I still don't believe it's him.
The language it's not even like when he like he makes up his own language here. Like it's not
Oh,
even anything. He
it's
just
not
mumble.
even
He just like
Japanese.
is no. He just like mumbles stuff. So like they just put like words over it to make it seem like it was a language, but it's not like any language.
Did you guys ever play the like Arkham Asylum or Arkham City games?
Yes, sir.
I played
You know
Asylum.
the what it's like the moment where like there's like a whole like thing with Ra's al Ghul or Ra's al Ghul, whatever people call him in the games.
Raish.
But
Or
like
they all call him
you is
Raish
I think it's
besides
race in
this.
the games, yeah.
Or it's
Oh, is
Raish
it? Okay.
everywhere else. Yeah, that's the proper pronunciation. It's just Nolan being Nolan. Ra's al Ghul.
Ra's al Ghul. Yeah. But the games, there's like a whole mission where you have to fight Race, and there's like you're like doing
Yeah.
like a drug fueled like nightmare
Yep.
sequence that
I remember.
you
Yeah.
kind of do as well in the new Spider-Man games, but I feel like the Batman one like really
Is
knocked it out
better.
of the park for me. Like it
Yeah,
made me
it's
think a lot
better.
about this moment, this sequence.
The suit that Liam Neeson is wearing is one of the best suits that Nolan's had in all of his movies. That jacket is 10 out of 10.
Looks like the suit from Memento, low key.
Yeah. It might just be the fitting on Liam Neeson. I think he wears it better. And the one that he wears in Memento's a little bit big for him. But I think Nolan likes that look because he has it intended again for John David Washington.
I mean, he
Oh
directs his
yeah,
suits. I think he just likes the
Brooks
look.
Brothers.
No, oh yeah, my dad's name for Christopher Nolan, the director that wears the suits.
Suits.
Literally,
They're gonna
the
sell me
English
a Brooks
director.
Brothers franchise.
I need a Nolan brother franchise minus the murderer.
Have you guys seen Mandy?
Yeah.
The Panos Cosmatos film? Yeah, I love how the
Yeah.
dad's in that movie.
Did I? I was talking about some movie and I mentioned Mandy. I don't know.
I have a Mandy fridge magnet, bro. There's
We were
so many
talking
like
about George Cosmatos like his dad. That's why I mentioned him. I don't know. I was talking with somebody. Michael Caine. This is one of his best performances in the back end of his career, man.
And this was their first collab, no?
Yeah.
I think so.
And he's done everything up until Oppenheimer. He wasn't in Oppenheimer.
They couldn't
Would
fit
have
him
been
in. Come
cool if he
on.
was.
He
Yeah,
should have
it
just
would've been
had
cooler
another
if he
voice for him.
was. Yeah, I think Michael Caine said that he like created his own backstory for Alfred. That he was like a war veteran. To make
But
it
I
more
mean,
like he's not just the butler. Like make it
but
way more like
they
personal.
play it. I mean, it's part of a different. I mean, they made a Pennyworth show. There's
I was gonna say there was an Alfred show and
Gotham.
everything.
Mhm.
I mean, both of them very much. He has a military background. It's closer to the butler that Artemis Fowl has, like Ian Colfer. If y'all have ever heard of the Artemis Fowl books, he has a butler in that, and
Mm.
that's pretty much closer to what he or the military guy with like, but he actually carries a gun, that sort of thing. That's what happens in the shows.
Yeah, I never
Do you guys
seen.
remember the Artemis Fowl film that Kenneth Branagh directed?
We don't mention that.
I forgot about it until
Kenneth
you did.
Branagh, who is also in Tenet and Oppenheimer. What else is he in? Is he in
Yeah.
Interstellar? I don't think he's in
He's in
Interstellar.
No.
Harry Potter.
Bro, him playing Heisenberg was hilarious. I was just like, bro, this man, Heisenberg, come on. I will say the depiction of Gotham in this, I love this one. I love the one from the Gotham show. And yeah, those are my two favorite ones. I think Reeves hits it good, but I like these two the best. Those two the best.
I
And
love it. There's
shout
how
out,
this whole subplot about like the train in this movie, then it's just completely abandoned.
yeah. But I think it's like, I don't know. It's
I think it works for
their
this movie. It's like
yeah.
it's a plot device. I don't mind it.
I think the whole point is to like have him invested in the city. And
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
I think they paid a lot to have the whole train system in there, right? And I mean, it works. I think it works well.
Now, why are you leaving out the back? Just go out the front.
Bro, this ain't even the back. This is the this
This is the
Like
front.
you don't like you're telling me no one's working this event, like sitting outside smoking. Like this is like even worse than where the guys who are probably working are. This guy's a great actor.
He's in a lot of he's in a lot of he's also in Mandy too, and I think about it. Both of them are in Mandy.
Little Batman Begins reunion.
He's the guy that makes the acid.
No, but it might be just like a casting director thing or something like that. You never know.
Look what you did, Bruce. God, all because you had to
Look what you
leave.
did, you little jerk.
What is that? What line is that from? What is that from?
Home Alone,
Home Alone.
1991.
Home Alone. Yeah.
I love
Look
the.
what you did, you
They all just
little
staring
jerk.
at
I
him.
love using that line.
This is basically just like the Uncle Ben. Like, how many times have we seen Batman's parents die? Like, it's like
I
Uncle
mean,
Ben.
but I think this is my favorite for when it comes to Batman, and then
Yeah.
for
Mhm.
When I think
Spider-Man,
of
it's
Batman's parents
Raimi.
dying, it's this one. Raimi's all the way. The Andrew Garfield one, I couldn't even remember how he died.
I just
Yeah, like
remember, what's his name? Martin Sheen just acting the crap out of it. Man, this is one of Gary Oldman's best performances. Just chameleon senior right here.
Yeah, he wanted him originally. He actually wanted him to play Ra's al Ghul. But then he wanted him for Gordon, and I think he like turned it down. And he was going to get Guy Pearce because Guy Pearce said
Nah,
that they had discussions.
this is perfect
Um,
though.
but I think he came back.
Because I think at the end of the day, he's got like this is the relationship that actually runs through all the movies. It's him and then what's his name? Alfred. And both emotional relationships.
There's another. Who's the other actor? Oh, it was Viggo Mortensen.
Viggo would have been
bro,
good.
Viggo Mortensen as Commissioner Gordon.
Yeah, he was like. I
I want
think
to
he
kill to
He
see
auditioned.
could
him
have
do
done it.
that.
Have y'all seen Captain, was it Captain Fantastic, if I remember the
Captain
name right?
Fantastic, yeah.
He's got the heart.
Release the Mortensen cut. Oh, Ruger Hauer, we were just talking about him on
Rutger Hauer, man.
the Cinema Pursuit podcast.
Plug. Rutger Hauer, Blade Runner, and that's 100% the reason why he's in this movie, actually. So, full circle. Within 2 days,
Didn't you get the memo?
you're fired.
Did you know that Nolan made everybody watch Blade Runner before they started working on this movie? He
Really?
got them all in a room, yeah,
Oh,
to watch Blade Runner before.
and Rutger
And then he
Hauer's
cast.
just sitting in the back asleep.
You think?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think
Yeah,
Rutger's like, I live this shit?
Yeah, I would just get up and leave. I don't need to see this. I was already in it.
I love
He
this
basically,
score.
I think
This
he
score
said
right
that.
here. This is like there's a lot of hype for like the Batman, like the Dark Knight stuff, but this is the best work out of all three movies, in my opinion, at least.
So for the score, because it's Hans and James Newton Howard.
Yeah,
Hans only does the action scenes, and James Newton Howard does the emotional
all the
scenes.
emotional scenes and the emotional stuff sounds the best.
And I was like looking it up. I
Not
didn't
that,
realize.
and I don't mean, and that means no discount to like the Dark Knight. I
I
am
didn't
one of the
realize.
few like Dark Knight is one of my favorite movies ever.
Um, wow, that cave looks like an ape outline. That was really weird. The first 5 tracks, the first letters spell out Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that shit. Good little trivia there when you look at the scores.
Yeah, I didn't know that they like. That's how they did the score. That James Newton Howard did the emotional parts. James Newton Howard's underrated,
So
man.
the iceberg stuff, I have brought this up before, but the iceberg stuff that they shoot, like with them fighting with the swords, I think they shot it within a few days. It was really, really fast because they were on treacherous ice, apparently.
Oh yeah,
But
didn't like just start cracking when they were on it?
when they started shooting, I think it was like one of the first like 10 shots or something. But
I know what you're about to say.
it looks fantastic, man.
It's interesting to cast like Liam Neeson in this role. Obviously, spoiler, he's the bad guy. But like casting
Yo,
him as the good
what?
guy, 'cause at this point, was he ever a bad guy? I don't think so.
I mean, Darkman was a bad guy.
Did
Nah,
you
nah.
watch
What do you
Schindler's
think?
He wasn't like the
List?
villain. He's not the villain. Actually, this is the first movie I've ever watched. Right now. Loser. Basically what he said. Loser.
You know what Nolan's problem is, though? This movie is the first one to do it, so let's talk about it. This man can have the best cast of men, just fantastic actor on fantastic actor, and then he'll have just the most random lead actress. And I don't know what the issue's been. I mean, he's course corrected recently with Del Becky and with Blunt with the last two movies, but still, it's happened a lot.
You mean to tell me you didn't like Hilary Swank in Insomnia?
That's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. This is the first one where it starts.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, the editing in this already in my like for me, I think this like it's been 20 minutes. This has gone by so fast. And it is you know, obviously it's a flashback thing and all that stuff, but the pacing is fantastic in this.
Do you guys know how they did the look of the flames flickering on their faces?
No. No, seriously, just why? How'd they do it?
They waved a stick in front of a light. Like I'm not even lying. There's a
Yes.
video of it online. You can find it. Like there's
Uh
a giant twig that one of them
The
is holding and
movie
they're just
magic.
twirling it. They're just
One of my
twirling it
favorite
in front of a
things
giant light.
is the rigs that Deacons uses for his lights. I think
Hmm.
if anybody goes and looks up the behind the scenes for Prisoners, the candlelight vigil chase scene, and then the end of Skyfall, and then 1917. A lot of like orange, like firelight, and it just looks it's stunning the work he does.
It's
I
interesting to
think we
see
for
that how he plans all of it too.
oh yeah.
Because I mean, like a lot of it is CG'd out, a lot of it is they use VFX to edit out, but it's
Yep.
so like effective.
Yeah, 1917 and Skyfall was edited
Skyfall
out.
specifically, those two are the ones that are like I would say like
Yeah.
most effective. You can't even really tell they're there.
And then what do you call it? Prisoners literally they're shooting on a steady cam. They just got a homeboy just holding the lights, just following them with the camera. And then Jake Gyllenhaal he clocks the dash Dalmatian's character, and then they start running. Whatever these locations in this movie are, I think they're all fantastic.
This house has been used in a few movies actually. I forget what most recently it was in. It's in England somewhere. Um,
Christian Bale, is this the only movie he plays angsty?
yeah, that's how you know it's younger. His hair is down.
Yeah. And he's wearing big coats because I don't know if anybody knows he did the machinist before this, and then he went from
Mhm.
like the slimmest he's ever been to like 220 pounds. He packed on too much weight to play Batman, and then he slimmed down for obviously for the Prestige and for the Dark Knight.
Dude's weights fluctuated so much.
My favorite thing about this movie is like when he comes back and then he just gets out of bed and just gets down on the ground
Oh
and just
yeah,
starts doing
does the
push-ups.
one push up?
I'm just like, oh,
He doesn't even just
breathe.
like he throws his body down too.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. There's something like cinematic about it. Y'all forgot his most villainous role for Liam Neeson, Qui-Gon Jinn.
Yeah,
If he didn't die,
Vader.
he could have brought peace to the galaxy, but no.
There's Katie Holmes, married to Tom Cruise at this point. No, yeah, Tom was. This came
Yes.
out. This came out, I believe, a week or two after War of the Worlds.
You would
They were out
know,
at the same
Mr. Nine
time.
Times at the theater.
Listen.
You couldn't see Batman Begins?
I did see Batman Begins, but then I went to see War of the Worlds again.
I would
I
have.
went and saw this with like a bunch of friends for like someone's birthday, and I was the only one who stayed awake. Everybody was sleeping.
I saw this with my mom.
I
I
saw
was
this on
6.
FX. That's it. I didn't see it in
You were
theaters.
6? Fuck.
Yeah.
I was 6. Yeah,
You were 6? I was.
that's what I'm
This is
saying. Like
2005. I was 9.
I was 6. I can't remember
I
whose
was
birthday it was. It was someone's birthday at my school. Like I was friends with, and they took us all like to go get pizza. They took us like something really fun, but it was really energetic. So we were all like really tired, but I was wide awake. I loved movies.
Oh yeah. Also, she just mentioned Falcone. Everyone else says Falcone.
Falcone, Falcone, yeah.
Every single thing says Falcone. It's just Nolan Falcone. I don't know what it is. Is this
That
movie
one I did
changed a
know.
lot in the mouth where it's like, where is he? And all that stuff is like,
I know
and
they
arguably the best line of this movie is the Batman. Like,
oh,
come on,
yeah.
Cillian Murphy.
Batman.
Yeah, a lot of critics like say that this is one of the most influential films of the 2000s, not only for like its action scenes,
The
but
only
it
time I'll tell you to call me a
revitalized
critic. The only time I'll ever tell you to call me a critic, because I agree. Because
it
no, like
revitalized even
fundamentally,
Batman in
if you
general.
talk about Iron Man, you talk about any of these other origin movies they've made, they take from this movie. Because
Mhm.
I don't think X-Men really is an origin movie. They've made other movies like Superman, like the Dick Donner one, but this is the one where it's like everyone more or less has looked at this, or like subconsciously they are motivated by this sort
Oh,
of story.
100%. Yeah.
And it's not even,
This is
flashback,
a how
flash
to make
forward.
a this is a blueprint
Origin
on how to make
story.
like a good origin story. Yeah.
Yeah,
They pretty
because
much
it
mix
even
this with Lost essentially when it comes to that Arrow show where it's like they're showing like throughout the episode they're showing flashbacks and they're also showing a current time and they're trying to loop both of the storylines together, but they're also doing very much Batman Begins action stuff.
Bro was ready to shoot him in cold blood in broad daylight.
What do you mean Batman doesn't kill?
he was about to.
Zack Snyder says
Tell that
otherwise.
to
Zack
Zack Snyder.
Snyder.
Yeah.
Because I think even this movie, because it made Batman like much darker, like they started to shift the comics even to becoming more darker, like like that's how influential this was by Sir Christopher Nolan.
What else didn't Rise of the Silver Surfer come out this year?
Yeah,
I
2005. It
believe
came out
so,
in like
yeah.
May, I think, and this came out in like June or July.
I don't know about all that, but I just remember there has to be only one. Oh yeah, this is New York. Or is this Chicago or is this Pittsburgh?
This is Chicago. Oh
This
no,
is
no, the
still
first one's Pittsburgh, I think. Is
He
it?
uses
Or is it
Chicago and New York exteriors to make it seem, because it's not supposed to be like anything, but he said he did keep because they
Put
shot
it
in
this way.
Chicago a lot, so he
In
kept
Batman and
license
Robin,
plates and everything.
in Batman and Robin, there's a shot in the first act of the movie where they're zooming in. They're at some public event about like climate change or something, and they
Yeah.
like Uma Thurman shows up, like Poison Ivy shows up, and they show a satellite, and it's New York, literally. So that's what I say.
I know that the second one is
Batman and
definitely
Robin.
Chicago.
Yeah, it
Definitely,
is.
And I
second one's
think
definitely Chicago. The third one, I think, is a mix of Chicago, New York, and LA. Like, there's like a pretty good mix of all three of them in the third one.
And the third one's Pittsburgh because they had what's his
Oh yeah,
name? I
yeah.
forgot
The
the guy running you know who I'm talking about.
Heinz Ward or whatever.
yeah,
Heinz
yeah. I know
Ward,
what you're
yep.
talking about. Never mind. I'm thinking about Chicago, Pittsburgh, and LA. Remember, it was one of those. There's a shot
But
in the
if
second one too where you can see like a bank that says Chicago Bank or something like that too. You can see it if
one
you
of
like
y'all
pay
been to
attention.
Chicago?
I've
When was
been
the
there
last
I
time?
have
a
'Cause
while ago.
every
12 years
time
ago, 12 years
I
ago.
go to downtown, every single time I'm like, this is Gotham City. And I'm like, just walking random places. I'm like, yo, that was in the Dark Knight. That was in the Dark Knight. Oh wait, that's the. I'm like, and the first time I went, I literally had them like, I had pins on my map to go everywhere. I was just like being a nerd. Actually, my cousin's husband, this what is it? I think it's the parade scene where Gordon gets shot. Like his store
Mhm.
is actually in there because they used to have a store down there.
Ooh,
Yet again,
R.I.P.
another
Tom Wilkinson.
fantastic. Oh, R.I.P. Right? He just passed away
Just
recently.
died. Just
R.I.P.
died like
Yeah.
a month or two ago.
Guys,
Maybe
I think
longer.
yeah,
sneak
maybe
peek.
beginning of this
Michael
year.
Clayton coming on the pod.
Michael Clayton, man, what a role! What a movie!
Tell me when. Okay, so because of this movie, I always thought that Tom Wilkinson was American. I did not know till like maybe 4 years ago that he was English. He is that good of an actor.
Guy's English?
I
Yes.
yeah,
I didn't know that till now.
he's in the Full Monty. Yeah, the new Monty. We did one of the shows or like sequels of that movie, but I always remembered him from
Okay.
The Patriot. He's the general in The Patriot, Cornwallis.
This is whatever. When I was young, this is the only thing I saw him in.
I used to watch The Patriot all the time.
The guy outside of this scene with the jacket, fantastic actor. Have y'all seen? I think he's in Mission Impossible 2 and in The Saint with
He's the dude with the
Val
big
Kilmer.
hair.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and he's the
with the
dude on
curly
the
hair from
plane.
Lost. Curly
Yeah,
hair from Lost.
he's in the plane scene, the opening of Mission Impossible 2
Rises?
with John
Oh,
Wick.
no. I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. For a second, I was like, this guy in this third movie too?
Or I'm talking about the Russian guy outside. You'll see what I mean.
Yeah. I
I'm
know what you
jumping
mean
it.
now.
I'm jumping ahead.
You said the curly guy is in the scene in the plane, and I was like, hold on, did he just like use him for the third movie again just think we wouldn't notice?
Oh,
Because I definitely didn't. But you cleared yourself up. My bad.
the fire
My
rises.
misunderstanding. The fire rises.
Are you talking about this guy? I was thinking of someone
Yes.
else.
I have
Should
a
have tipped
thing
better.
every time there's
This
like a
guy.
great like character actor, like he's a great character
He was
actor.
also in Downton Abbey, you guys. Come on.
Guy looks like Harrison
I haven't
Ford if you
seen
drink from
Downton.
memory.
Yeah,
He does kind of look.
if you had to draw a police sketch of Harrison Ford off the top of your head.
like a
like
drunk
if
Harrison
Harrison
Ford.
Ford mugged, would be like, that's him.
yeah, it's that kind of stuff. I love when they come
Oh,
full circle with
oh
him,
yeah,
though. Nice
the
coat.
himbo
Oh, yeah,
when
let's look at
he's
that.
on the dock. It's the
Yeah.
most himbo shot of Bale I've ever seen. Then you'll be like, wait, he could have been in Barbie.
Oh shit, he's going to
This
Skull
is
Island
like
right now.
this is one of those, yeah, like key moments you see in a movie with like a superhero is just running through an alley, realizing what they have to do.
I think this is the best score of all three of the movies.
It is. I think the Joker stuff is great, but this is the best score for me. This is the one if I'm thinking of him, if I'm thinking of like Batman, it's this.
I don't even remember the Dark Knight Rises score off the top of my head, honestly.
Just the the one little Bane thing, that's about it.
Oh, you know who also was considered to play Bruce Wayne?
Wasn't it
Take a wild guess.
I think I know who you're gonna
Henry
say.
Cavill, right? Or no,
Henry
who was
Cavill.
it?
Yes, Henry Cavill
Yeah.
was, yeah.
But it was someone
But,
else. Wasn't it Josh Hartnett or
it-
somebody?
Also Heath Ledger.
Heath Ledger. Interesting.
There's a lot of people who are considered for this. It's
Yeah, I
kind of
saw
crazy when
Henry
you go and
Cavill,
look
I
at
was like,
like the
damn. I was like, how old is Henry Cavill? I was like, damn. How old
when you
is
go
this
back
guy?
and look at like the production notes for any movie, like a superhero movie, it's almost like there's always like 20 or 30 big names that are like thrown in there. And it's like, all right, I could see that one. I could see why they thought of this.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I think he also wanted Chris Cooper to play Ra's al Ghul.
I could see Chris Cooper.
But he turned it down. He said, no, good.
This feels like a video game right here. This shot right here. This looks like that scene or that sequence in Arkham City I was talking about.
Hmm. They probably took from this, honestly.
Just like I'm sure they
Don't tell me
did.
Nolan doesn't know how to do horror, because he does.
He needs to make that horror movie, man. But he'll never
He
go
would
back to like
conjure
low
literal
budget though.
demon.
Yeah, to get the feel.
I can see the behind the scenes already. It's like we really tried. Like we went to the Vatican and we started doing exorcisms. It's quite informative. And then we met some pedophile. Oh, never mind, never mind.
That's the real horror movie right there.
Blade Runner is more of a horror movie than most horror movies to be.
It definitely has the potential and the themes that can make a horror movie good.
Like I said, like Terminator horrifies me more than, you know, guy in the closet. I love this scene.
What's in the box?
What would be in the box for you guys?
What would be in the box?
Mine would be snakes. It'd be a giant snake.
Not
You
living up
see,
to my
everyone.
potential. There we go. I went for a
Damn,
real one. I
getting
went for a
deep.
real one.
I can't even top that.
It's just a mirror. It's just a mirror that comes up, and it's just you looking at.
Oh,
yourself.
so it's Kung Fu Panda.
I feel like everyone says snakes, but I've never been like that scared of snakes. When I was
Bro,
young,
I
my
will
dad
say,
made me hold
I-
a snake to
I
get
get
over
the-
it, and then
I
I
get-
did.
I saw I saw the poster for Sting, like a new movie that came out. I was like, I literally today I was like, oh hell no. That's what I said because of the spider.
Are you scared of spiders,
giant
Vikash?
spiders.
I have a bad relationship with them, put it that way. I mean, I'm fine with them for the most part, but I've had enough encounters where I'm like, I don't need this in my life.
Damn, gotcha. Gotcha,
Gotcha,
Qui-Gon.
bitch. Punked.
He's proud too for a second. He's like,
He's like, you're ready to be a Jedi. Oh wait, wrong movie.
I love how he used to do his little cape. Did you see that? Sassy
Oh yeah,
little
because
boy.
Nolan like loved him in this. That's why he cast him in Inception. He's like, I need to make another movie with you.
but he's fantastic in Inception. Like, I love all of his line deliveries. He gives him the best lines. He's like, I bought the airline. Like, bro, what?
This is my favorite song on the score right here when it like kicks in. He's already getting his Batman.
No, but I mean, like, the best part is when you have, villains that actually make sense. And what Roz is
Mhm.
saying very much makes sense. Has anything aged? It's been what? What is this? 05? It's been 14 years. Has anything aged?
It's been
I
almost
think,
20 years.
Goyer
Oh, wait,
actually
sorry,
19
he
19.
modeled
years.
I'm tired.
he modeled
good.
Raz off of Osama bin Laden actually. Like that type of idea of like
Oh,
not like
of
actually
like,
like Osama bin Laden, but,
but I
like,
mean,
the
no, but in
idea
the
of like
sense that
what you're
he used
saying,
to-
like what you're saying, like
yeah, like it's not like the government wasn't buddy with him to a certain point.
Yeah.
I mean,
or it's like the idea of like a Thanos, like there's the point
They
that
see
they're
they see
trying
what
to
they're
make.
doing is right. Like they think that what they're
Yeah,
doing
they
is
think it's right. Yeah,
Roz
completely
is better.
valid.
Roz is better than Thanos.
wow, he's gonna
Liam
snap you
Neeson
away now.
over Josh Brolin.
Liam Neeson and Josh Brolin would both just like snap me in half like a twig if they ever got to a fight with them. Josh Brolin
I don't
is
know.
huge.
Josh
Nah,
Brolin would
I
actually just write you a poem.
Yeah,
And Liam
then
Neeson,
punch you in the
I could
face.
take on Liam Neeson. That's not that hard.
Nah,
Oh,
dude,
yeah?
he's running around like on a farm with
See,
rifles.
I will say if I was black, I'd run.
Have you seen Taken 3? Him jumping over that fence, bro. You're not
Leave that
I
escaping
got
joke in,
that.
that.
okay?
I got that joke. I got the joke, Vikash. Don't worry. I got
And
that reference.
Liam Neeson was terrible for
Oh
that, and then he went on
man.
Atlanta and just made it. I was just like, okay,
Wait,
At
he
least
was
he
in the
owned
show
up to
Atlanta?
it. Yeah, he's in an episode of Atlanta. He's sitting at the bar. He's playing himself.
Is that where the joke came from?
or no,
No,
you Google it.
he said,
Anybody
What was the
listening,
yeah,
go
joke?
Google it.
it was a
I
interview he
heard the
did.
joke. I just didn't get it.
He was an interview he did. He went on a little tangent, and you're like, where are you going with this, man? Like
He's like,
basically.
I was really pissed after this thing happened, and I was just looking for any black guy to like beat up or something like that. I was like,
Yeah, and you're like,
whoa.
Oh
whoa,
man.
dude. Yeah, it was. What are you doing, man? Like, yeah. Then he
Okay,
went on
for all
Atlanta
the
and
crap
addressed
that
it.
Nolan, I think Nolan has gotten some crap for like action, like how the way he shoots action, but I think 95% of his action is actually really good.
My only problem with Nolan is he's not very good at directing like background actors.
That's true.
He's more concentrated, which is like fine because it's like you're supposed to be looking at the main characters, but
Bro is trying to save money on his first AD. That's what it
yeah.
is. I think his first AD is actually pretty like he's a bit older, if I remember correctly. At least the one he's using recently.
I think for this movie he didn't hire a second unit either. He shot
He
everything
shouldn't have.
himself.
He should. I don't personally. I don't believe in second units unless you really have some shots where it's like sunrise,
Yeah.
sunset, that sort of
It's
thing.
mainly
Like
for like
splinter unit.
yeah, like or the car just driving down the street. Like it's not like that's why you use
Yeah.
second unit. It's not like but yeah, he didn't get one a second unit for this. He shot everything himself. Now this would freaking rip your shoulder open.
See, I think, and obviously this is a practical stunt. You can see the stunt guys' faces, but I think the best thing
Mhm.
now is that you can literally replace their faces if you need to. Like, but you should always do the practical stunt if possible, if it's safe.
That's why Rage is facing down.
Yeah.
It's like a 20-year-old son, dude.
But
Yeah, you can clearly
have
tell right there.
y'all
It's like
seen the
20.
y'all seen the face replacements on Logan, right?
Yeah. They look
Impeccable
good.
work.
They look really good. Like
Because
you can't even tell the difference.
the one for the limo chase that's like in the first or second act of the movie, you
Oh
cannot
yeah,
tell.
it's like a stunt guy, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the camera's shaking so much too, but also like just really good compositing too.
Here we go.
That's the
It only
problem
takes 40 minutes to get to my favorite part of the movie.
with 4Ks now, especially when you watch older movies. You can clearly tell when it's like stunt doubles in the back.
But that's the thing. It's like, but like for me, my thing is like, does it even matter? Like honestly,
Yeah,
like
well, because at the time
if
you're like, no one can see, but now
no
it's
no
like
no
with
but no but
everything's so clear now.
even then I'm just like I don't care. Like willingly, I'd rather you do the crazy stunt, and I can see that you did a crazy stunt with a stunt guy than you
Yeah.
not do it at all, or
I
you
think
do it
whenever
on a green
they do a good
screen.
job of hiding it, like the way that you kind of just see with Race there, where he's like his face is like pointing down, like face down, like you can't even tell. It's like I don't mind that
Yeah,
because I understand like your body's hanging, like you wouldn't see their face or just angle it differently.
because Bond is known for doing it quite a bit, and I mean, they did it for decades and decades, and I mean, it hits. This speech right here in the plane is my favorite. Elemental.
Oh, he loves Disney. Wasn't that movie called Elemental?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I feel like Bale was just so good at playing the different personalities of Batman and Bruce Wayne. Because like the
Also, I do.
previous ones, it was just like George Clooney would put the suit on, and he's just like, "Hey, I'm George
Yeah,
Clooney." You're like, "Oh, clearly you're Bruce Wayne, bro. I can hear your voice." Like,
I think there's also a needle of thread that like the Batman is only so great because of this, because of the movies that Nolan made, and it's like
mhm.
he very much like we've seen it done, and they really hit some good emotional tones here, and then he's able
Nice.
to move into a different space that's even more emotional in some ways.
My
Uppy,
Irish
uppy,
brother.
uppy.
Cillian Murphy. Okay, have y'all seen blah, blah, blah. Have y'all seen
I have
what's
not
that?
seen blah blah blah.
The Bill Hader show, Barry. There we go.
Yeah, I have.
I've not
No
seen
Hank.
Barry.
You know who I'm
No,
talking about?
Hank.
Baldy.
Yeah.
So that was Victor Zsasz, and the
Mhm.
Victor Zsasz that's in the Gotham show is Anthony Kerrigan, who is NoHo
Mhm.
Hank. And as much as you love him in as a Barry as NoHo Hank in Barry, he's just one of the best parts of Gotham too. Gotham
I
is very
really,
campy.
dude, after Matt Reeves' Batman was released, I remember thinking like, dude, this guy needs to do a Victor Zsasz storyline for the next movie. Like, I don't like there.
I
I feel like
mean,
they have
you
not
played the
explored
games.
enough of Victor Zsasz. Yeah, that's
And
why.
Dr. What's his name? Hugo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Hugo Strange. There we go. The other Doctor Strange.
I I rock with
Mhm.
Victor Zsasz though, low key. I think
Yeah.
I think he needs to get like his whole like he needs to be the villain for the next
My
movie, I
only
think.
argument against it is that he might be a little too serial killery, and Riddler was low key on those vibes already. So we'll see.
Yeah,
I mean, the rumor is he's doing like
I heard
Hush.
Clayface for the actually
Clayface is.
no, I think Flanagan was doing Clayface.
I hope Clayface
And do you
happens.
think it's
That's.
Hush now I think about it?
I was thinking about like Scarface, like from the Batman the Animated series, like the ventriloquist. I'm
Mm.
like, go campy with this, because that would be fun for
Al
me.
Pacino? I'm just messing with you. I heard you. Animated
No,
series.
honestly, Al Pacino with a ventriloquist dummy would be legendary.
My eyes see Bruce Wayne.
But that's exactly, just imagine the vibe. It'd be perfect.
I'm sure they're gonna have the Joker be a
Y'all
massive villain in
recognize,
that.
or since we're doing this series, the guy that he murders and takes the suit from in Memento, that's the DA.
Mm.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then whenever the vaporizer thing's happening, the guys in the water in the technician booth, I'll point them out. You'll see who they are. You'll be like, wait, hold up. We know these
The
people.
vaporizer thingy. They're called microwave emitters.
Oh yeah. I will say this is how you do low light photography right here. It looks low light to an extent, but it's not anything to where it's like, oh, I can't see what's going on, right?
A lot of shadows and a lot of highlights, but I like
I
it.
I
I
will
mean, this is a full
true.
set.
Yeah.
A
I
full
will say
set built.
whatever they did for Dune, like Dune Part 2, there's a couple scenes where Chani and Paul they're like doing the little dance in the at night,
Oh
and
yeah. It is too dark.
it's dark, but it's like I liked it. I will see how it looks at home, but it's like in the theater it looked fantastic.
I watched that scene earlier whenever I opened up the Blu-ray for it. It
Yeah,
I think it's too dark.
it's too dark. Okay, because the problem is
It
that they
doesn't
have
look too bad
cameras,
if you're watching it at night. It's just like if I watched it during the day, I wouldn't be able to see that scene at all.
and if you had a TV with like a higher backlight or something like that, yeah,
Well, and this is just me. I tried it on two different sources. I tried it on the projector and I tried it on my LG C3 OLED. It
yeah.
looked better quality wise on the OLED, but I could still see it better on the projector. Like I could make out the shapes
Okay,
better.
Mm.
But
interesting.
the
Because
projector also doesn't support Dolby Vision, and the OLED does. So there's kind of a
the problem
trade-off
is
there.
that they shoot with these cameras that have very low ISOs now, or like they
Hmm.
have ISOs to the point where it's like, or like native ISOs to the point where it's like they can get great clarity at even with less light, and it's becoming a problem, right? We obviously know about what happened with Game of Thrones, which
I was
I
gonna say
mean,
Game of Thrones, yeah.
I I like the work
I
they've
don't
done,
here I don't mind
but
the low light ISO for the camera stuff. It's just like one of those things where it's like, even if it can reach that low, like give us a little bit of detail, like just a little bit of lighting makes a huge difference.
yep. One of the Nolan's uncle, he's one of the guys here on the boardroom table. He's also at the end of Dunkirk. The blind, I think he's the blind guy that's handing
Yeah,
out
he
the
was.
He's the blind guy that
Yeah,
says well done, and they're all
yeah.
like,
yeah.
you just
Like that's
survived.
enough. I think that's enough
And
for
then
some
That's
people.
enough, lads.
Yeah.
he's one of the main like long-term villains in Jonathan Nolan's Person of Interest. So seen
Mhm.
quite a bit of him. Good actor.
I watched
Easy
the
to
first
play
season that I
menacing.
didn't realize it was Jonathan Nolan's show though.
Oh, the thing is, the first season is like mafia stuff and like it's kind of like procedural. They carry the procedural stuff
Hmm.
over, but like it goes into like AI and like machine is fighting another machine and there's all sorts of other stuff going on. But it's like
Oh, is it really? The first
the
season I
writing
did
is
not get the vibes from that.
the writing is fantastic. Honestly, it hits the peaks for me personally that like Fargo season two, Breaking Bad. Honestly, like some of the stuff in that show holds water with those, which is surprising to say. Like if you go look up on IMDb, you'll be like, wait, the last few seasons of the show really got some high ratings, and deservedly so. Applied sciences.
Mr. Wayne, I don't give a shit what you're doing down
But
here.
that's what I'm
I just don't
saying.
have to
How
lie
do you
when
have
someone
Rutger
asks me.
Hauer, Tom Wilkinson, Killian Murphy, Morgan Freeman, Gary Oldman, Christian Bale, and then Katie Holmes? And no disrespect to Katie Holmes. It's just
He
And then
bad
Katie
is
Holmes.
bad
he
casting.
actually
It's
yeah, I
bad
mean
casting.
he really
No,
liked
Rachel
Katie Holmes
McAdams.
actually a lot.
Rachel McAdams.
Yeah, he
She could have
liked Katie
played
Holmes a
this.
lot actually. She said she gave that like earnest quality because he liked their chemistry, just her and
He should have let
uh,
Emma do her job.
Bruce.
Emma's the one who saw, or I'm
Has
talking about Emma Thomas's wife. She saw Widows, and she was like, "Oh, Elizabeth Debicki, like, we should put her in a movie." And she's in Tenet.
has has Katie Holmes done anything
No,
big since this? I was gonna
no,
say, I
I
feel
don't even
like
have to. I
she
don't
Maybe
even
just
need.
kind of killed her career.
because I believe she even turned down The Dark Knight.
Yeah, and then it was okay. And I will say, I think Maggie's fantastic
Maggie's
in that
better.
though. I think she really hits the,
She's awesome in it. She's great.
and it's like in the moment that needs to sell. We're gonna talk about it when it happens. Is the last 2 seconds of her life in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
The see the Bondian vibes here.
This is the first Morgan
Fantastic.
Freeman appearance. First is this is the first scene he's in, right? Morgan Freeman.
Yeah. I've seen this movie so many times.
It's 4K
I
disc.
That's
love
a
I
lie.
love
She was in Logan Lucky in 2017. That was like the
yeah, she
last
was
big thing she did.
she's great in that actually.
Didn't she write
Do
and
you guys
direct like
know?
a movie? She like some like she played like a teacher that killed somebody or something. I don't know. I forget what it was called.
Lucius Fox right here. The the
What
sweater,
about
the
Coda?
jacket and the collar shirt looking great.
You mean
She did a
Still
Koba?
movie called
fits.
Coda. She did a movie called Coda as well.
Francis Ford Coppola made a Godfather 3 coda. What?
I was
The
thinking
oh
of
yeah. He was like the. I still haven't seen that. The Death of Corleone, The Godfather
Hey,
Coda.
you don't need to.
the new cut.
Have you guys actually no? I think her best role was in this 2011 film directed by Dennis Dugan, Jack and Jill.
Hey, she
Yeah,
got
no,
that
she hasn't done
paycheck.
much after this.
The Underground Railroad.
I think Tom paid her a lot of money, so she's good.
He gave her the shut up money.
Yeah, Nolan tried
I,
to get he tried to get bats, like actual bats in this. And they were
I
like,
think
yeah,
I think the
bats
CG
are really
bats
hard to
look
train.
fantastic.
Yeah, they're like, bats are really hard to train. I think they only used one bat is when he saw the bat that's flying in the house. I think that was a real bat. Other than that,
They were like,
everything
just
else is
record it.
yeah, it's like
I think
people are like, their bats are very hard to train because like they're
I
bats.
think
It's just a
all three of
dog.
these movies,
I
this
don't doubt
Batman
it.
trilogy, Inception, some of the better work that Pfister has shot.
Oof, he's painting the suit that he hated. Christian Bale hated wearing
I
the
think
suit.
this is like my definition of like you don't have like heavily like heavy colors in terms of like lighting, but it's still like it looks great. I think that's the definition of what like Pfister did for the most part. Like his color palettes were pretty bland in a sense, but they looked great.
Yeah, I think that's they wanted to make it that way because one to make it more like seem
Grounded.
realistic. Like this could be in
Yeah.
a city like New York, Chicago, anywhere.
Yeah.
And also separate from like the Schumacher look where it was very colorful.
Which I loved. Like I was watching
yeah.
the ice hockey scene from the opening of Batman and
I
Robin.
love that.
And
I
I'm
love
just
that.
like, this is so like the production design, like how it's shot, honestly fantastic.
Mhm.
Like
I forget what happens in like the last two. Did he do the last two movies? I can't remember. Schumacher.
yeah, he did Batman and Robin and Batman
So
Forever.
it was Burton did the first two, and then Schumacher did the last two. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
I did not remember anything about the Schumacher movies like a bit, and then I rewatched them all like over the last 2 years, and oh my god,
I
hard to sit
understand.
through,
They're
man.
wild. They're wild.
I love them. Yeah, they're corny. They're very bad dialogue, but like I grew up on Batman and Robin, so.
I know.
But
I
then,
love
then
how this film kind
then
of
I got
follows.
this.
I love how this film kind of follows like the same like structure that the first Spider-Man kind of does, where like he has like his own little suit, he wears like a mask.
Mhm.
Yeah, those mechanics are
origin.
definitely there. Where it's like, but it's done. It's done like I think this is the perfection of it in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like obviously
Like
I think
if it's not broken, don't fix it, right?
and it's I think they do it really well emotionally with Tony for Iron Man. That
Mhm.
works
Yeah.
well. But
He's a
I mean, I
mechanic.
would
Like he's just kind of he's the fix it kind of guy. Like if it doesn't work, he'll just make a few tweaks. Whereas this one, they really aren't mechanics. Like they have to kind of figure it out as they go.
yeah. I love this stapler gag. It gets me every time. Now we're two. Yes. I love this dialogue, man. This is where the dialogue started popping for me. I ain't gonna lie. When it comes to Nolan, this is what I call like textbook Nolan. Like, he's got good whippy dialogue, but it doesn't feel like it's horny in a sense.
Mhm.
Like it doesn't feel like what I guess the Marvel movies are kind of trying to emulate from the 90s.
Yeah, like that quippy
I
sort of like referential dialogue where all
yeah.
the jokes are just, hey, you remember this other movie that did this? And it's just like that's the joke.
Mhm.
But even lines like that, it's like just some nut is like great line. Even this stuff with
I
with
almost
Lucius.
died. Yeah, I almost died. So let's make it a little better.
I love this cut right here. When he cuts to the or not right now, but when he cuts to
The Tumblr.
the tumbler and all you hear is just that sound design. One of the best cuts of this movie.
Oh, you don't want that, Mr. Wayne. What did he say? He's like, that wouldn't interest you, Mr. Wayne.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's coming up, isn't it? I was
He like
just
sees in the
Tumblr.
corner. He's like, what's that?
The Tumblr. A
I love the
Lamborghini
way
and
that
Hummer
they
put
shoot
together.
these scenes, like the Z axis for these scenes down here. Like there's like they show a lot of depth of like where like it's just warehouse vibes, but it looks
Mhm.
I don't know the columns themselves look really cool. Simple but elegant.
I think it kind of adds that sense of like
What's
feeling
that?
like it's a
that?
cave. Like it's
Yeah.
almost like this is his tech cave. You know what I mean? This is where
Here
getting
we
all his
go.
toys.
Yes.
Yeah, he modeled this off a Lamborghini and Hummer put together. The Tumblr.
Fantastic. Y'all have no idea when I watched I love the Tumblr. I love the Bat Pod in the Dark Knight. But when I watched the Batman, when he turns on that car for the first time, I swear my testosterone rose by like 3,000%. Like if you want to see me like get giddy, just turn on that scene. I'm just like, I don't know why.
I think they made 5 of these for this movie.
Yeah, they did.
5 of those.
And they made a
hear
crazy
that-
amount for whatever for the Dark Knight Rises.
Did you hear
Does it
the
come in
story
black?
of the drunk guy that hit them? Like
Oh yeah,
while
I've
they
heard
were
about the
filming in
story.
Chicago, and he thought it was like an alien spacecraft. He tried to be like, "Oh, I tried to ram into it to save us all." Like, like okay, bro, like you're just wasting it right now.
I love
Do you
this guy
imagine
that
being drunk
plays
and driving into this thing though? Like I would try to make him
I
stop.
know. Yeah, well, it's like you're just like he's probably so drunk and like doesn't realize he's driving on a film set, and then that tumbler just comes out of nowhere. I'd be like, "Holy shit! What the fuck is that thing?"
This scene right here is very much, I think it's something where it's like it's Batman doing his detecting, and we see a bit of it in Matt Reeves's Batman's too. Except, I mean, like
Mhm.
there's comparisons to be made, but I think Matt just goes about the stuff in different ways. Like when he's watching Catwoman from across the street, and like the
Yeah.
voyeur vibes just of that is like, and plus he's playing with you with the music too, with Giacchino's music, very
Mhm.
playful. But this is all serious and like we're becoming Batman and it's awesome.
I always thought this little thing with the hands was cool.
I
It's
thought this
unrealistic, but it's cool.
what was it? I think the second Scooby-Doo movie, there's like a clown in there that
Yes,
has
yes,
like
yes. The clown. I thought the
yeah.
exact same shit. The white clown that like flies around.
Yep.
I think it's the first one. It's the opening scene. But yes,
Oh,
the
it's the first one.
clown.
Okay.
Where it's like it's a ghost. It's a ghost. I'm sorry, not a clown.
I haven't seen that movie in so long. All I know is that the guy who edited Home Alone is the guy who made Scooby-Doo. And it's written by freaking James Gunn.
James Gunn.
James
Uh,
Gunn
y'all
wrote
saw
it,
that
and
crossfade?
apparently the first time that they what did they say? They like submitted it. It got an NC-17 rating or an R rating, I
Yeah,
think. And they had to cut out a lot of stuff. There's a lot of CG cleavages that are done.
bro.
There was a whole plot line with like Velma and was it Daphne? Like a whole Velma and Daphne like lesbian plot line.
That would have actually be fun.
I would like
Not
to watch
I
that.
don't actually know, not their context, because their context was probably like playing it up, but like in the context of just overall as Scooby-Doo, that would be something that they should like very much explore in a 2024 setting.
Yeah. I
I
think if
will
they did
say
it now,
Linda
it'd probably be a little bit
Cardinelli
better.
has aged like fine wine. Put her in more
Like,
stuff.
I like how he does this scene too, where you
Ooh,
don't see
one of my
him at all.
yes, yeah. This is what I'm saying.
Just the
This is horror
darkness.
movie stuff.
Well, it goes back to that previous scene where he's like, "Bats frighten me," and then it crossfades into this scene where you don't
Yes,
see
yes.
him at all. So all the
It's
villains are now
nice.
frightened.
It's nice. And I love the lighting here. Very simple, but it's like obviously the reason why, it's like it makes no sense why it's there, but it's obviously for effect of the scene.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's again like you were going back earlier. If this was made today, they'd make this pretty dark. Like this, it's like
Oh
this
yeah,
lighting
100%.
is so unrealistic, but it
But I
works.
prefer this. I prefer
Yeah.
this. I don't know why. Maybe it's just what
I
I've been
feel
watching.
like the suspension of disbelief like isn't gone with something like this. If anything, I feel like it enhances it because you're so
Mhm.
focused and
100%.
you think about how good the like quality of it, them standing out is with the lighting hitting them, everything.
Mhm.
And then whenever you do show Batman, it's like we're gonna show him very darkly lit so that we can barely
Yeah.
see him. It almost makes you pay more attention,
Oh,
I think.
oh yeah, this right here, the sound design right here, very much Michael Mann. When he's shooting the MP4.
Mhm.
Wait, y'all didn't
Love
tell me
that.
that Batman was on the D line.
This dude weirdly looks like Kevin Spacey.
Oh,
He looks like a Kevin Spacey if you drew Kevin Spacey from memory with a wig.
Again.
no, he
Oh,
looks like the guy.
if he drew a
Again,
police sketch. If he
yes.
drew a police sketch
He's the villain of
from memory.
Equalizer 1.
Of what?
He's in Equalizer, the first Equalizer. He's in some other stuff,
Oh yeah,
but
yeah, he is in that. You're right.
Oh yeah,
he's
he
like
is.
he's a very
I always
European
thought
face.
this.
Good character actor.
Here. He delivers that. Where are you?
It's
Perfect.
fantastic, man. I live for
Christian
this,
Bale.
guys. I
Christian
live for
Bale
this.
hated the suit. Like he couldn't move it all in it.
Oh
So
yeah,
that's why
no,
they put
his
that's why they
It
put
was
the
the
joke
neck.
in Dark
Is the
Knight.
neck thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's why they put the joke in the Dark Knight where it's like more like movable. Like that's
but
why
I
they put
mean,
it
he
in.
told Ben and he told I think Rob, he told them both where it's like, make sure you can pee by yourself.
Yeah.
Because I think he really had to get help to do all that, or he couldn't do it at all.
Yeah.
It
I think
was
even
he
Tom
couldn't
Holland had
move his
problem with his
neck as well as the
suits.
suit. Um, also Val Kilmer said that that was a big thing for him as well, is that he couldn't move his head at all.
I'm Batman.
I'm Batman.
Right here.
See,
Vikash?
if I was, yeah,
Go
I'm
for it.
Batman.
There we go.
Nice coat.
Team
Oh,
effort.
fuck.
Nice coat.
Nice coat. That line was more important to me. I was waiting for the nice coat.
Nice coat.
But I love this right here when the taser just pops off of him. Like, girl, that ain't gonna work on me. And I love the dinginess right here. You like it's so simple, but it's like it's not even focused half the time, but like you just feel Gotham low-key is disgusting.
Hmm.
And then the opening of the Batman, where does it take place? And it looks great. Y'all realize I'm about to watch the Batman now. I gotta watch the Batman. We've
Right
been
after
talking
this.
about Matt Reeves. How was Kingdom
We've
of the
been
Planet of the Apes?
eight pilled recently.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty solid, Kingdom. I think I was saying earlier, I think I'm just aped out right now. I watched too many
Okay.
I
Planet
think
of the
we
Apes
all
movies.
are.
Oh, I haven't watched any besides like about 20 minutes of the 68 movie,
I
which
watched
I
the
really loved.
OG like saga, Burton's, then the three new ones, and then the new one. And I was like,
Yeah,
I've
that's a
watched
lot.
too many
Bro,
I
it's
watched
kind
too
of
many Planet of the
crazy
Apes
how
movies.
how Burton's movie's the worst one.
Yeah,
It's easily the worst
it's pretty
one. You got
bad.
I
Ape
don't think
Lincoln
it's
in
that
there.
crazy. I don't think that's crazy.
No,
It ain't a
it's
far
like
stretch.
because I rewatched it. I was like, this movie's like not the worst movie I've ever seen, but it's definitely the worst Planet of the Apes movie.
It probably holds
The
up pretty
first
well
The
to
ending,
today's
the
standard
ending,
of
the ending doesn't make
blockbusters.
the ending doesn't make any sense. Like, why would they make an Abe Lincoln ape statue? It doesn't make any sense. Like,
it's Ape Lincoln.
Abe Lincoln.
Abe Lincoln.
I do think the first half of Burton's was really solid. I was like, okay, this isn't bad, but this isn't amazing either. And the
I mean,
second half just shit the bed.
Tell you what, Tim Roth was acting his ass off in that movie.
Dude, Tim Roth, Paul Giamatti, Helena Bonham Carter, they are all having so much fucking
Oh
fun.
yeah,
All three of them were killing it the whole movie. They did what
Y'all
they could.
y'all
How long
heard
do you think it took
about
him to
Paul wanting to
climax?
be a Bond villain, right?
Oh yeah, yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah,
That would be perfect. Like that's like he knows how to do it. Like he can play that. Like I'm talking about like big fat liar level of like hamminess.
I think he could play a Batman villain too.
Oh, definitely. I think he has a villain era that he has not explored recently that he needs to. And he
Paul
got really
Giamatti,
nerfed with Amazing
If it,
Spider-Man 2.
yeah, if they didn't
he
have
loved it.
Colin Farrell in the new one, I could see him playing the Penguin, Paul
Low
Giamatti.
key, yeah.
They
He
should have just
did
had
say that
Richard
he
Kind.
loved doing.
They should have
He
just
did
had
say he loved
Richard
doing
Kind.
Planet of the Apes.
And also
I would
this right
say,
here, like this, all this like, lawyer jargon nonsense very much is the precursor for all the, the scene on the roof, with the revolving camera between the three guys, between Dent, Batman, and Harvey. I mean, Gordon. It's
mhm.
very much the same stuff, except he makes it so much more serious in the next one. Oh, here we go. I was talking about these
Oh yeah,
push-ups.
yeah, it is.
Oh yeah,
Now, like,
very look at the bed frame, the backboard. Very
oh yeah. I was gonna say that whole like lawyer jargon scene. Maggie Gyllenhaal does a pretty damn good job, like
fantastic
coming
job.
right into the role, and it's like the same vibe immediately
And
that
I
Katie
I
Holmes
think
was
they
giving.
keep the pacing for those very
Here you go.
fast.
Here you go.
And
Here you
I
go.
love her. I love the here we go.
Here you go. If
Let
I
me get
tried to
all
do
let
that,
me let me do some
my
push-ups.
my shoulders would just pop right out. I need to go to the hospital right now.
Instant dislocation. I love this right here. That literally no one was just like, okay, Rutger, stay afterwards, or like come in early and we'll just shoot this real quick.
Yeah, probably
And
worked
the
for
and
like
the
2 or
cutting
3
is
days.
fantastic.
I love how
A-
they did that
As
shot
much
right
as they
there.
rip this off, I'm like, make more of these, please. Like, just rip this
I love
off more.
I love how they did that camera work there because obviously they just shot that on like probably just a stage or
As
whatever.
it's
But
like
they
the
had
backlot or something.
the camera like moved like it was like on the boat, like it
On
was
the
going
water,
very
yeah.
yeah.
It still kind of is. Like when it cuts back, pay attention. It like they're just like moving the camera
They
so
keep doing it.
fluidly.
Like it's like it's like you're still on the boat.
Yeah, it's still doing it.
Very subtle.
but needed because it helps your
That could have
mind. Like it's
that could have been
subconscious,
on
but
the day.
it's effective.
Could have been on the day. It's like, what if we just like tilted it? Like if we're on the boat and you're like, let's see if it works.
Oh yeah, also the plates, the Gotham plates, Chicago plates, right?
Yeah, he
Pretty
kept it all
much.
like Illinois because I think they shot some stuff in England too, and they kept everything Illinois plates.
I will say it's interesting I guess the women that he has around in this movie and the second movie because they all kind of look like dancers. In the
I mean,
second movie, they are dancers.
he basically has
They're
this
sa-
scene in the second movie, like again, like they
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about like
Yeah.
vigilante, like it's the
I
same
was gonna say
scene.
the same
But that
thing. It's
scene,
just a lot more like it feels like they go a lot more in depth in the second one.
oh no,
Yeah,
it is. That scene is like one of the most important scenes of the movie. Like I said, I was telling Martin that line again. You either die a hero or live long enough
You
to be
see
a
yourself
villain, or like.
become the villain.
And then she's sitting there, the Russian, the dancer. She's sitting there, and she holds up the menu to Dent's face, and is like, "Oh, are you Batman?" And it's very small stuff. And you know what it is? It very much is Nolan looking at Heat and being like, "Oh, some of the best scenes of Heat are actually the ones that are in between, where it's just like they're chilling with their family, or like something crazy happens with them." And honestly, like The Dark Knight or Heat could have been, 30 minutes, an hour longer, and it still would have been compelling.
Mhm.
It's a lot of the downtime scenes that don't seem like they're anything, but like without those scenes, they don't. That movie doesn't mean anything.
Those are the juice. Those are the
That's the
real act.
juice.
That's the real juice. How are things? I love this exchange because it's like she's being honest, but he's got to play this persona, and he's just like, this isn't my truth. Like, I actually
Yeah.
love you.
Like his reaction when she's like Bruce, and like he was like, "I'm Bruce Wayne," and he turned around, and his face, the way it just like changes, oh, so
Yeah.
good, so good.
He's like smiling as he's walking to his car. Then he sees her, and his like he immediately is just like
Yeah,
serious
it's like,
after
oh
that.
shit, because he knows, because she sees through the everything. Like
He's like ashamed too. Like the woman in
yeah,
the back saying, "We
Yeah.
have some more hotels for you to buy," and he's like embarrassed in this whole scene. Like this whole scenario is just like upsetting for him.
And the music right here, playing the theme, this is the best piece of music for me. Right here. This is it.
That
I think
James Newton
it's
Howard.
a a Pittacus or something like that. I can't say the word properly, but
Yeah.
that's the one on the soundtrack.
They have in the special features, they have his audition on there, right? For Bruce
Yeah,
Wayne.
oh yeah, for
Yeah.
Batman, yeah. That's the one I was thinking about, the one I've seen. Because it's always the piercing blue eyes the bro's got.
Oh yeah. Nolan said that he loved he says his eyes are so blue. So like he kept trying to figure out ways to take his glasses off so he could see his blue eyes. So he kept making him
But
take his
bro,
glasses
look,
off.
you skip all the way to 2023 and Oppenheimer just, you know, in the whatever resolution of IMAX film. Come on, forget about it.
Hmm.
It's just
Yeah, I think originally Nolan didn't want him to have the mask, the scarecrow mask.
and the mask has been influential, I think. Martin can speak to it a bit about the games at least, but I think the mask is fantastic.
Hmm.
Oh
And
yeah.
every
I mean,
With I
and
feel like
all
the
the
games
all
use it a lot.
yeah, I think the games did it right. Those games, I remember just playing those games or like talking about playing those games with like Zach and all sorts of people. Just like it was the vibe of like high school, I think.
this was the first live action scarecrow. He'd never been done before.
But I think this is what I mean by like there's a sense of me and Pat were talking about it when the Astral Treasure. There's this almost absurdity of this right here. This is not realistic what's about to happen. It's horrifying and it works.
That cut, right?
It's quick though. That's why it works. It's if you focus on it too
Yeah.
much, it starts to become really corny. Like
Exactly.
the
And
scene later
he
where
tapers it. He tapers it the entire
this
movie.
the later scene where Bruce ends up drugging him by accident and like his
Yep.
entire face becomes like this black
Melting.
oily like
Yep.
yeah,
Mhm.
like that's I think the most
Fantastic.
effective moment he uses it. And it's so quick. Like if you blink for a second, you'll miss it.
Yep. I love this right here. Like it feels real. It just feels genuine.
This is heat right here. This is
Yep.
heat.
He's like, "God, we gotta
The
hurt this time
framing's
combo.
fantastic. The
My knees
blocking
are
is
hurting."
fantastic here.
Took long enough. My knees fucking
Yeah.
He's
He's like, God, I've been out here for 30 minutes.
he's just leaning on the wall like I do. Hey guys, what's up?
I remember, I don't go ahead to the Dark Knight Rises, but I remember the scene when he like comes back to this city and he like lights the bridge with the bat symbol.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
I literally said in the theater, I was like, I literally turned to my friend and I went, how long do you think it took him to do that? Like, he's like, hang on, I got something to do. I'll save you guys in like an hour. I got to do something real quick. Like,
Here we go. I
this
love
kid.
this.
I love this
I
guy.
love this. No, this scene right here is fantastic too. Just with the rain and everything, and this right here.
What, you guys are like falafel?
yeah.
I'm just like, why are you stealing from like a hardworking man? I was just like, I hated this guy
Bro,
so much
and
for
your
this.
fucking and your meal is just soaked right now.
I would never eat that.
Oh,
I
Trash
mean,
right there.
you actually need a lot of like liquid with falafel, just saying, but still.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, falafels can get dry.
But rainwater? Come on now.
Yeah, I know.
that's swear to me. Oh, that's swear to me. So
Swear to me.
I've spent many, many, many hours of my life doing the Batman voice.
better start preparing. The
But it's
Rachel's
fun
coming
to
up.
do. But it's fun to do. I don't know what else to say.
I mean, I think said he lost his voice like 3 or 4 times in this movie because he was doing
Yeah,
the voice.
it makes sense. Do I look
I mean,
like a cop?
you do it 3 times in your house, and you're like, "Oh God, my voice."
Yeah, and he's
I
going
get
take
it. I
out.
get it.
I mean, Nolan doesn't go, super hard in the takes, but still, I mean,
This guy's got the same name as my cat.
because he looks kind of like the guy from, like I said, he's in Memento, but he looks like the cop from Insomnia that I was saying that's in Home Alone
Oh
3.
yeah, he does. He does.
It's just that they've
He's got that like
similar facial
everyday man
structures.
look. He's got that like
Yeah,
everyday man look. Like you see this guy walking down the street.
yeah. And if you look Irish, he'd look like you, Pat.
Yep. me and my Killian, the Irish brothers.
And I love this sort of whatever. There's CG
these
in there, but
sets
it's
here.
like very well used. I mean, they're a bit noticeable in the Prestige. I will say that though. This one, I think it works fantastic.
We're coming up
I
on little Joffrey soon.
Yeah, that's also what I say. I was
Oh,
like, I
yeah.
love that I spent many years of my life not knowing
There he
There
is.
Joffrey, and then
Little
I think in
fucker.
high school,
Probably like the nicest person in the world too. He doesn't even act anymore. I don't think.
he's cute in this too.
I think he said that he had a hard time getting cast in anything after Joffrey.
After he probably just got all like villains, and he's like, I don't want
But
to do this. I mean,
that's
he kills it as
why.
Joffrey because you hate Joffrey.
But it's like, I don't know. It's like, as an actor, do you want to play into it? Or, I mean, I don't know.
I think there are definitely some limits an actor would want to have. Like, I think once you play the same role so many times, you probably don't want to play the last
Get
one, especially
stale.
whenever
Yeah.
That's why actors leave TV
you got into it for
shows.
something else.
I'm over this. I'll play something
I
else.
love this right here. Once again, we have a smart villain. He ain't stupid.
Yeah, I think Killian was like, I don't want to play him over the top. I think that's what their main goal was, to like not have just villains and everything just be over the top comic booky.
But he goes for it by the end, right? I mean, I
Mhm.
think he said it was one of the last takes where he really goes for the Batman line.
Oh, it's so good. The Batman.
They just torched this whole place with gas, and this guy's like, I'm gonna light this little lighter up.
Oh,
With the bat coming out of the mouth too.
I
Oh.
love it. I mean, it looks good. This is how you do it. and no one has the chops.
Little cross cutting between like the sequences at race.
Yeah.
And this right
They
here,
even had
in the stuntman.
quick half-second shot of where his parents died too. In there, he threw in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's real quick. It's subliminal. Like it definitely puts it in your mind.
And this is the first one Lee Smith did with him. And then, oh, Sam Mendes like stole him away for Spectre. It's, honestly, I'm glad because you got Jennifer Lame, and she deserves that spot instead.
She got that Oscar.
Deservedly so. I'm excited to see what Margaret Sixel does. She got her Oscar for Mad Max. Furiosa's about to be something.
Yeah, I heard Furious is pretty stellar, so we'll see.
Y'all got
So
tickets
Lee
yet?
Smith, yeah,
Alfred,
Lee
I'm
Smith
fucking
cut.
dying,
He
bro.
was cutting for Peter Weir before this, bro. He did Master and Commander and Truman Show. Lee Smith,
Alfred, I'm fucking dying, dude.
listen to this right here. He goes Batman,
Hey, Peter.
Prestige, The Dark Knight, Inception, X-Men First Class, Dark Knight Rises, Elysium, Ender's Game, Interstellar, Spectre, Dunkirk, Dark
Yeah.
Phoenix. Oh my God, I didn't know he did Dark Phoenix. He did
Can
1917,
you guys believe
Empire Light, and
Matthew
Lee
Vaughn
Smith,
did First Class?
and Matt. He edited Argyle for Matthew Vaughn.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's what happens when you
This
leave my man.
this is the first scene that they filmed for the movie, and Christian Bale fell asleep actually in the bed. So Michael
Man.
Caine had to like poke him to wake him up. So like him like barely waking up there, like he actually was like fell asleep and was like,
Oh.
like so it's like a genuine like
Method
waking
acting.
up.
I mean, it's Christian Bale. I mean, the most method acting possible.
Yeah.
Okay, I will say, since we're on the pod right now, if y'all have ever heard of the thing when Terminator Salvation, when Christian Bale got pissed at the guy,
Mm-hmm.
I know
I
what you're talking
randomly
about, yeah.
followed said guy on Instagram, and I had to unfollow him because he was insufferable. And I was like, and then a year or two later, I saw that clip again, and I saw the name on there. I was like, hold up, wait a minute, this checks out. Christian Bale is right about this. I will say McHugh, one of the hack directors that they have out there, or McG, not McHugh.
You mean the director of We Are Marshall? Come on, dude.
Director for hire as it
McG.
comes.
Charlie's Angels.
Yeah. This scene right here
I
very
forgot
much
that guy
works.
is like a director.
Like for Katie, very much works.
I think she's pretty good in this movie, man. She
She's
plays
good at
very
this.
like
She's good at this. As much as I want to,
she's
I
good
was
with
joking
like
around. She's good at this.
yeah, she's good with the interactions with him. I think that's why their chemistry, I think he thought was great. That's why he liked her a lot.
A good portion of the scenes that are in this movie are with between them two as well. Like they're
Yeah.
very. I think there's a scene with her and the DA, her
For
on
like
the
a second.
train, her with, yeah, and then her with Scarecrow.
Mhm.
I
So
will
there's
say
like maybe like two more.
one of the best parts. I think one of y'all was talking about is like the movie, or Pat was talking about when we watched Collateral for his film festival, for the commentary film festival. Is like there's good movies where it's like the plot really takes place over a night, and this right here
Mhm.
for the back end of the movie, the last hour takes place within less than 24 hours, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
We're actually close to 24 hours because he goes out and then there's stuff happening back and forth, but it's good stuff. I will say one thing that they've forgotten about origin movies is that you have to have the hero be the hero fully. I think they do it well in this. They do it well in like uh Iron Man, but if you talk about something like maybe a Tomb Raider or something like The Mummy, the 2017 bad one, they don't understand this, principle right here. They're making origin movies where they don't necessarily need to, and then on top of that, there's no actual like, fun stuff going on.
I feel like they're trying too hard to like leave space for a second or third movie, and I feel like
Exactly.
that's kind of a cop
Exactly.
out. It's very lazy
100%.
to me.
100%. And I was talking about Justin Lin, and Justin Lin was like, "Oh, we take the Gattaca approach when we were doing Fury, Fast and Furious. We just throw everything at the wall, and we'll figure it out for the next one. We're not worried about it." And arguably, the worst Fast and Furious movie is the one where they're like, "Oh, we have a part 2 coming," and
Yeah.
that's the newest one.
Yeah,
It's all set up. Yeah.
Rutger Hauer,
they don't treat it
X,
like it's its own
Morgan
movie.
Freeman, man.
It's kind of crazy that between them two, Rutger Hauer is the one who died already.
Yeah,
Not like it's like one or the other. It's
And-
just
Or is
Morgan Freeman
88,
looks older.
90? Yeah, I just
Probably.
saw.
I think he's like 90 something.
He was at the
all I
TC
want
he
to
was at the
know about
TCM.
Morgan Freeman right now is that he does stuff for like 21 Savage. I don't know. I know y'all probably don't listen to 21, but like randomly, like he'll have like interludes or like stuff like that, and Morgan Freeman will just be on there.
He was at the
21.
TCM.
Can you do something for me?
Hey, they had a little
guy?
Shawshank.
This is a Kendrick household, sir.
They had
My
a
bad.
little Shawshank reunion at the TCM Film Festival.
Oh, they did that too. I didn't see that.
Morgan was the. It's on the. It's like a 20-minute convo. It's on YouTube.
Him and Tim Robbins.
Tim Robbins and Ben Mankiewicz. Yeah, it's
Okay.
Morgan Freeman's looking pretty old. I'll say he's looking pretty old.
He's
and
87.
yeah, a lot of the
Tom,
conversation. It seemed like he was like didn't. It seemed like he doesn't remember a lot. I mean, he's also 87 years old. But man, they uploaded the Mel Brooks. That dude is 97 years old. That dude can tell a
still got it.
story. He remembers
still got it.
everything.
Yep.
Can tell any story. Like I can listen to that guy talk all day.
Yep. Tim Robbins, his other half is Reed Morano, if y'all know who she is. Great filmmaker on her own.
He used to be married to
pace.
Susan Sarandon for a long time.
Oh, okay. Because I follow her, I've followed her a long time online, and I was like, wait, hold up, that's Tim Robbins.
Yeah. I
She
feel
ended
like
up doing
Morgan
a lot of
Freeman's getting
Handmaid's Tale.
Morgan
Oh,
Freeman's
this-
getting to the point now where I feel like it's the day that we lose him will be like one of the saddest things we ever see.
Yeah.
Roger Corman just died too, man. Like when I heard about that, I was like, damn.
Yeah.
You
also,
you
like,
remember
98.
I name dropped Roger Corman too on Blade Runner? I was like, wait, I was just talking about Roger
Yeah.
Corman too.
It's unfortunate. I think I learned about it as I was leaving Planet of the Apes. Either that or it was like the day after I was watching something else.
It's interesting how much different these sets are compared to the Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises.
Oh, they're so different. But it's like the characters are also consistent that it almost like it's like, all right, we'll do it. We can look past this.
I think it's a difference of locations too, like of where they're
Yeah.
shooting.
And more money, probably.
I mean, this is still a $150 million picture.
A picture.
I swear to God, Marty's got in my head. 185 for Dark Knight.
Mm.
You see how fast that shot was?
Just the
You
way
see
they
what I
shot
mean?
too, yeah.
And it's not just the
Here we go.
shot, it's the sound.
Coming up.
It's the sound
The
design too.
Batman.
Oh,
Man,
he's like leaning.
There we
over.
go.
let's go.
That like leaning over too. Oh,
And the way the camera is moving around him, there's
it
tension.
circles back like this. It just
Yeah.
keeps going like.
I love how all the bad guys have like mics on them too. That's such a 2000s thing.
Yeah, I love this camera work. It's very interesting. Just keep moving back and forth like that.
That's all that camera's doing too.
Yeah,
It's so
just going
simple, but
right
it works
back
so well.
Yeah.
It's doing it again. Yeah.
But I think
Yeah.
it's more like it's like he's got his head on a swivel, like they're looking for
Yeah.
Batman in a sense. So it's
Mhm.
keeping
Yeah.
you
The audience's head
nervous.
on a swivel.
because now he goes from that to now just cuts.
Yeah, because they colored this very like green, orange type of color compared to the other two.
The next two are like more of like a coolish blue kind of.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like very, very cool toned. This one's very warm.
These Ari.
This
cameras,
one's
I
more
think,
no, I think the thing is this looks more
Ari
2000s than the other ones. That's the thing.
they use, yeah, the Ari Flex 435 camera they used. Panavision lenses.
For this one,
Yeah.
I feel like they probably decided on the warmth because of that. Probably lean into it a little bit more. And then once he got his hands on an IMAX camera, he was like, all right,
Now you
we're
gotta
done.
match it.
We're going into a different mode.
They made an IMAX version of this, I believe, when it first came out.
Oh,
But
I love
there
that
you go.
It
There
looks
is
good.
this for the. Oh yeah, it's slowly coming out there. But the IMAX like film reel, it was like too long, so they had to cut the credits of the movie.
Yeah.
So it
There's
just
if you go
ended.
through like the
They had to get
IMAX
like
list of movies that have been shown in IMAX, there's a few movies that have had to do that where like they cut the credits because it was just too long.
So they had to get permission from Warner Brothers because Warner Brothers at first was like, "Hell no, we're not cutting the credits." And they're like, "Well, it's just for the IMAX version. It's just going to end."
In 2024, they'll just be like, of course, just cut them off. Who
Yeah.
needs
In
them?
You'd be like,
2024,
yeah, sure.
they would have cut
Also,
it immediately.
Also, we could just cut everything in before that too, and the movie just doesn't exist. Yeah,
I will say,
and then we'll just
the
make our
best
money
part
back.
of
yeah.
the best part is that like she kind of has to play damsel in distress a little bit in this movie, but in the second
Mhm.
one, he doesn't even get her a chance to do it. I mean, it happens once, but even then, it's like the brevity of this, like the magnitude of that scene is very heavy. Where it's like, yeah, this man just dropped her from a 2-story window or whatever it is, off a roof.
I remember I watched this on a flight one time and I didn't know what was missing. Like there was something kind of off about it, and I realized
Hmm.
like maybe 20 or 30 minutes in that it was in the wrong aspect ratio.
Oh,
And I
it
was
was
like,
probably in
oh.
a widescreen, right?
No,
Yep.
it was in a
'Cause
full
this is
screen. It was a full screen. This is the widescreen version that we have. I mean, it's a
Oh,
235.
I'm
But the
yeah,
version
this
that
is
I was watching was like cropped and it was like just zoomed in. And I was like, oh my God, like if Christopher Nolan was right here next to me, he'd probably stab me just for
this is
watching it like that.
239 aspect ratio.
Oh, is it? I wasn't sure. Looks pretty close.
That's the problem with watching movies on like TNT, FX. Like
yeah.
Yeah,
zoom in.
they crop everything.
Yeah.
HBO used to be the worst
I
about
didn't
it
know that
too.
as a kid. I didn't know that as a kid. That's why it's like
Yeah.
rewatching this stuff. It looks better.
Dude, you know what's even worse is like looking back at like I grew up watching DVDs and my parents would always buy the full screen versions because they didn't
Oh,
like
yeah.
the bars on the top and bottom. And I was like, yeah, cool, that's
Well,
fine. Like as long as I can watch
you know
the
why
movie. And then I
they
go back and watch it. And I'm like, to sell DVDs for people who still had like the 3x4 TVs.
that's why they made
Bro,
full
I had a
screen, because
4x3 TV till
VHS
like
VHS would be that way.
2012.
That's why they made the DVD essentially full screen for the same thing, because people had those TV types. It's the only reason.
They were doing IMAX before his IMAX.
I know. When I go to
It's fake
I go to
IMAX, if anything.
IMAX.
the used bookstore, find the full screen DVD. I'm like, I should just like throw this in the trash. Like, you guys don't need this.
Bro, I've got
It's not the correct
I've
version
got
of
the Lord
watching it.
I've got the full screens for Lord of the Rings.
Damn, Peter Jackson
Never-
probably would tell you to burn them.
I have 2 copies. I have the other I have the widescreens too.
I
But I
have
didn't realize it until
what
like I compared the 2 copies.
how many copies of one specific movie do you guys have and how many is it and what movie is it for?
That's the only one right there. I got
I
2 or
think
3
I
copies
have-
of Lord of the Rings.
I have 2 copies of Lord of the Rings. I had the Blu-ray and the 4K. I'm pretty sure I
Okay,
have
so I think
5. I think I have 4 copies of Psycho.
I
I
have
think I have
Lord of
5
the Rings
copies of.
trilogy. I have 3 on DVD, the original 3. I have the extended cuts on DVD. I have the 3 on Blu-ray.
Mm.
I have the extended cuts on Blu-ray. I have the 4Ks. I
You
have
have the
the 4K
Steelbook?
extended, and then the one that came with it was also like Blu-rays and Blu-ray extended. I don't have the
Yeah.
Steelbooks.
Okay.
I'm pretty
Because
sure
I
I
someone
I should go ahead
showed
and
me
get
their
them.
Steelbook the other day. That's
pretty
why.
Oh,
sure
for the
I have-
4Ks?
Yeah, but I think they said they had problems with it at first whenever they had first shipped them out.
The boxes were like getting sent. They were all dented. Like I had a
Dented,
roommate who
yep.
bought it, and his came in dented like crazy. I
I'm
think
also
that's the
pretty
worst
sure
part
I
about being a
have,
collector with all the
I
steelbooks.
gotta get me one of those.
It's a good line.
I
Tank.
love that I like that he keeps that as a thing throughout all 3 movies. where it's like every time there's like a scene with the tumbler, we cut to either like the kids or like the cops or
Oh yeah.
somebody, and by the third one, it's like, kid, hold on, you're in for a ride.
Like they really treat this as like it's a tag, bro. Like if it's on the street, you do not want to be on there.
Oh,
All
here we
right,
go.
you guys, you need to prepare your voices. It's coming. Rachel.
Oh, we got it. Hold on. Gotta make sure it's all prepared. Who's saying that?
Get the water, clear your throat.
Red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather.
Blue
The
flower,
skeleton-
red thorns, blue
what is
flower,
it?
red thorns, blue flower.
Unique New
The-
York.
The anchor
Unique
man
New York,
outtakes.
unique New
He's
York.
like, the skeleton ran out of his shampoo in the shower. It's like those were his.
I spent enough time in theater to learn those things. I love it. I still use it when I do the podcast because I my mouth just turns into garbage. I just chewing my words.
Chef should be at work all day too. I'm the same way. Can you imagine being drugged out of your mind and some guy in a bat
Yeah.
costume kidnaps you and then just blows a bridge,
I'm telling you, it still
drives
blows
you
my
off of
mind
it?
that the bad pod just comes out of that. Like I still remember the moment of seeing the movie and not clicking in my head, like seeing the bad pod on the poster. And then when it happens in the movie, like 12-year-old me, mind blown.
Bro, high key, one of the best posters for this entire trilogy is that one with the little like two-wheeled bat pod, I think,
Yeah, the bad
with
pod.
him
Yeah,
like
no, that's
flying
my
between
favorite
buildings
poster.
where
Yep.
he's just looking down. That is such a
Yep.
cool poster.
This is miniature work, I think, if I remember right.
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
Fantastic.
Still really well done
Fantastic.
though.
I'll prefer
It's
this
Hans-
over the CG
Hans
fest.
kicking it
That's
in.
just like, like whatever they're making now. I prefer this. And it's what I think the difference is just approach. Like just change your approaches.
You don't really notice it's miniature work either when they do it so fast. Like
Yeah.
it's very impressive. Little bits like that are so good in these movies.
Like it
He's
has just enough
cornered.
like little
So,
humor like that, as opposed to like when
Jonah,
Marvel goes over the top with the humor sometimes. It's like, all right, I get
Yeah.
it.
Jonah Nolan, he was talking about how Nolan really was not coming back for Dark Knight. He really didn't want to come back for it, but
Mhm.
he did, and it very much was the class change of movie, like genre wise, that kept him in.
Mhm.
And the
That
fact that
movie-
he essentially used his first like the biggest paycheck risk of all to just make Heat, and I respect that.
I mean, that movie changed a lot, especially that changed the Academy to go to 10 Oscar
changed-
noms.
Bro, it changed my life in a big way. Honestly, like that was the one movie where
I know a
was
lot of
like, I fell in
people-
love with the movie, and then like I started learning about film, and it's like I'm comparing it to The Dark Knight, and I'm learning, and
I still
irreplaceable.
know people that's still their favorite movie, The Dark Knight.
I know a lot of people whose favorite movie is that, yeah.
You're talking to one right here, and it doesn't mean like,
Not even-
of course,
not
I
even my
love
favorite
so
Nolan.
many. It's I don't know. It's just the emotion, the memories, the nostalgia. Like it's irreplaceable at this point.
And he got to his house quick.
And I like I'm not oblivious. Obviously, like he's made better movies. I understand.
All right.
that,
Oh, it's
but-
coming. It's coming. Y'all ready?
Here we go.
Rachel! Rachel!
Rachel.
I wonder how bad the
I love how he
mic
flies. Look at
squeaks
this
there.
shit.
I'm trying not to
He
yell.
just goes, zoom.
It's awesome. They're just like, guys, can props really just get this made for me? Y'all recognize this man right here? I know y'all doing
I
coded
feel
right
like I
now.
probably should.
Maybe
Oh.
fighting Mr. Fade Rotha.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Damn.
Look at him. He's not even drugged.
but he looks very close to how he looks not in not in the first movie, but in the second movie in Dune Part 2.
Bats. But I love with this though, like he changes his voice. It's not as Batman-y.
Raspy.
It's more Bruce mixed with Batman.
Yeah.
He wants her to know is the thing. I think he wants her to
Yeah.
know.
And she'll know
Bruce-
soon enough.
Bruce Wayne.
Bruce was trying to flex on her real quick. It's like, guys, I'm smart. He's like, Rachel, remember? Rachel, remember me?
Yeah. Remember the kid you hung out with when you were younger?
The one that was falling?
Yeah, that's another. And we get to the Dark Knight Rises, but that's another thing in the Dark Knight Rises. You put a jacket on a kid, like a kid in need, and it's like, how does he remember that? Bruce Wayne? like you remember that off the top of your head,
Dude. Do you think realistically he would have remembered?
No, he would have been like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about, bro.
What the fuck are you talking about, dude?
Yeah, here you come. This is all
Like
of them.
as
One night.
it's damn good television.
Again, they use that type of watching the television again, him and Alfred, when in the second one with the Joker.
But see, that's
Oh,
the thing.
yeah.
It's like, it's even more, I think it's interesting, like that whole set that they have for the quote unquote Bat Cave. It's just fantastic.
Because they originally were going to go with like what they used for the matte paintings and everything, but again, he wanted it to be different. I want the full set. Make it look like a rock. It's like molding. All right, old man, take it down a notch. He's such good at like playing such a dick, like a rich asshole.
I do hope they give Pattinson a little bit more Bruce time in
I need
the
to.
second movie. That's the only thing that was missing from that picture or movie.
That picture.
I don't know.
Gonna go see a picture later. A picture show.
I need to, honestly. I'm getting a bit unnerved.
Do you guys think the scene would still be here if it was made
No.
now?
Honestly, I hope it would. Because the comedy is
It's so
still there.
innocent though.
I feel like
It's
it would. I feel like it
hilarious.
would be. Yeah, that still works. It's because it's like you already know who Alfred is, so it still works.
Have y'all seen Sunshine?
Of course.
Mhm.
Okay.
I love Killian in that.
I take issue with that third act, honestly. Early, I think he should have toned back the slasher vibes. That's just me. Maybe I'm just being a baby. I think I am being a baby, but whatever. I like the movie though.
Oh, you don't like horror, do you? I forget.
I do no, I like horror. It's just I don't like slashers. That's the only thing I don't
Mm.
like. I like Halloween, the first one, but that's about it. I mean, Malignant was good. I don't know. And I don't know. I'm
No,
weird.
I did not like Malignant. That was like the one that I tried multiple times to sit through, and I just
Hammy fun,
couldn't do
man.
it.
I enjoyed the crap out of it. See, that's the thing. I don't know. I've got an eclectic taste when it comes to horror movies, but I love horror movies. Because when they hit, they really hit.
There's really good horror slasher films out there. I love me some good slashers.
I think it's just I never watched them enough when I was younger, probably, or something like that. I like the ones that have a lot of game. Like there's just like you just know what's going on already, and it doesn't really seem too horrifying
But I
to
love how
me
this
that there's just a
woman,
guy coming. Yeah, I know.
this woman is just like
Razz
she
out.
hears him say that he killed him, and then she just walks away.
Yeah. Love the way she says it too. Rise up.
Oh, I love this right here.
The reveal.
Yeah. But it's the point to do it in one shot on it like a Z-axis rather than it being a cut.
She just like leaves the other guy.
That's smart.
I will say though, his framing has changed from I think after yeah, whenever he started working with Hoyta, his framing has
Mhm.
changed.
I think he just became a better like once you're like a
Filmmaker. Yeah.
filmmaker. This is his like really
And
first
plus on top of that,
big budget.
they're keeping 4:3 and then they're shooting 65 and they're
Mhm.
just, they're keeping those things incorporated in the
That's what I love about
approach.
He almost has to
doing.
be more cautious with his framing, if anything.
That's what I love about
But
doing
Like
this.
I
making sure
think
it works well, friends.
it's like
That
he has to be more effective with the framing. So it's like he finds the art within it, but he also is effective with it. I mean, it's what Denny did, right, with Dune 2. That's why it's looking mounds better than the first one, even though the first one looked great.
that's what I want like for the director series. Like you can see
The
how
progress.
the progress of him being a director is.
And it's like,
Like,
yes, I understand that like Batman Begins is pretty vanilla in a sense, but like
mhm.
this is like the best vanilla you can get because it's got
But
sauce.
he shoots this very tight too.
Oh yeah. I know when he with that back and forth with Liam, I was like, wait,
Mhm.
this is man right here. It's not as bold as man, but it's getting to man.
It's like you want that. 'Cause it's like because Soderbergh does that a lot too. Because it's like he doesn't want you to. If there's too many people in the scene, you're gonna be like looking around the room. It's like no, boom. All I need is these two. Like there's 100 people in this set, but it looks like it's
I
just these two.
love, bro, the subjectivity of the way that Greg and Reeves shot the Batman must be studied. Because I remember seeing set photos. I'm like, y'all had this many people on set, and this is the shot y'all got. I was like, y'all are kings for this
Yeah.
because
I mean, even
emotionally
Deacons was like, holy
effective.
shit. Even Deacons was like, holy shit. This is like, he said that should have easily
Oh,
won the Oscar that year.
I recommend listening
Some real
to
juice there.
Deacons and Greg talk about the Batman on their pod. It's fantastic.
You mean the Batman?
Yes.
Respect
Isn't the
the
guy
Irish.
from
Y'all remember when villains used to have swagger?
Oh yeah. That was only when Liam Neeson played him though.
But I mean, it's like we get it once in a while. Like even like Sam Jackson and the Kingsman, there's sauce there. But it's like
Oh yeah, yeah. There's some real sauce.
villains got to be saucing. And it's like Liam is not hammy in this movie, right? He is
Mhm.
precise with every word that he uses in this movie, and it works well. Time to play.
When I find you on Tatooine, you're just a boy.
I just rewatched Phantom Menace, and I
I
attempted to
saw it in
ruin my
theaters.
childhood.
I saw it in theaters.
I grew up on the prequels, so I mean,
Oh, I still like it. I mean, I like Star
I
Wars in
still like
general.
it. It's just the dialogue is,
Yeah, it's
a little.
very.
But that's the thing. I, Clone Wars is easier for me to get through, I think, because of the narrative.
Do you guys think Christian Bale would have made a good Anakin?
What do you think about Leonardo
Yeah.
DiCaprio?
Like if you replace
I
Hayden
think he should be
Christensen
in Star
with Christian
Wars.
Bale.
Like even at
Christian
this age,
Bale.
yeah.
I mean, they freaking
Yeah, he would be a
wasted him.
good Star Wars
Or
character.
11 Thunder, man.
But I'm talking about like what
Dude,
they
Thor
need to
Love and
do.
Thunder sucked.
It
They
did.
wasted him in that.
I watched it like a year and a half after it came out, and I was like, I'm glad I didn't go to see this in the theater. I don't think I've seen. I think the last movie from Marvel I saw in the theater was
like a Shang-Chi or Spider-Man or something. That's it. It's been a minute. Oh, Guardians. I saw Guardians. That was good though.
Be like, sir, hurry your speech up. It is very hot in this room. It was like a Mission Impossible fighting in like a tuxedo.
Yeah.
You haven't seen Tuxedo?
Oh, I've seen
With
the
Jackie
tuxedo.
Chan?
Jackie Chan.
2001, Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Bro, don't question the action deep cuts here. The medallion.
Oh, the medallion is even worse.
I gotta rewatch those because I loved those growing up, man. I really
They're
did.
corny, man. I tried rewatching the tuxedo at one point a few years ago, and it's tough, dude. It's bad.
It's corny. Yeah.
But I like corny. That's the problem.
Yeah, I'll probably still watch
It's
it.
not even corny. It's like straight maze.
I've never
Straight
heard
my
that.
ease, bro.
I've never heard that. That's a new one.
Maze.
It's straight maze. You just
So,
went
yeah,
Native American.
The
You went
I forgot to mention,
indigenous.
I forgot to mention earlier the Wayne Manor. Like I think they were only allowed to shoot at night. So every like daylight scene is just like a massive floodlight shooting in, like 14,000 watts or something. They're only allowed to shoot at night. Wake up, Bruce.
We got he asked that line.
Master Wine. I love this line. I love this line.
You can't even pick up a bloody log.
He's like, bro, I don't deadlift. I don't do
Yeah.
legs.
Never skip leg day, dude.
My cat's watching this with me all of a sudden. Come here. She's not watching anymore. She doesn't like this one as much.
She's like, oh, this one. What's going the Dark Knight's on?
Bro, she told me not to watch Tenet without her, so she's the big Tenet head.
Bro, I've been waiting. Y'all have no idea. I've been
Biggest
waiting like
Davis fan.
6 months to watch Tenet. Like, I was like, we're gonna do Tenet, so I'm gonna not watch Tenet. I'm just gonna wait
I have
because I feel
been
like
so
we're gonna have fun rewatching
Tenet
it.
pilled lately, bro. I drove 4 hours to go see that shit in theaters. That is crazy. 8 hours total.
How long is Tenet? Is it 3 hours?
2.5.
2.5.
I know when we get to Oppenheimer, I'm like debating should I split it into 2 parts since it's 3 hours long.
No, let's just raw dog that.
I mean, we'll be fine. I mean,
I'm
release
sure I'll
one.
do Fellowship, Towers, and Return of the King, and those will definitely be broken up. Those are too long.
We're doing director's cuts.
We're doing extended.
Doing extendeds. For
They just do it on disc 1 and 2.
Yeah, I'll just do it. Yeah, when it stops, and that'd make more sense. Get out of my way.
I'm the district attorney. Let me in.
Yeah, I love
I
the
hate
production design
glass.
of these slums.
And
Yeah.
this is, I mean, this is Nathan Crowley from here, I think. And Nathan and him they've been sitting in Nolan's garage probably since this movie, just cooking up every single project they do together. Crowley just did Wonka. I haven't seen all of Wonka yet, but I've seen the credits. And from what I
Wonka's
saw,
solid.
I was
Wonka's
impressed.
solid.
I was impressed with the set work. I like Paul King, man.
Mhm.
I had a good
Paddington's
time
really
with Wonka.
Yeah, it's all CG there. But this is like simple production design like that of like the subway. Like if have that much graffiti, like you get the idea of okay, Gotham's not very well run. It's basically it's all I got from those simple shots.
Get out of here, you dweeb.
Get out of here, Joffrey. Oh, Cersei, you can't find her.
So Ra's al Ghul was right. That's what I was saying. Makes sense. I mean, honestly,
Hey, Thanos made some points too. Like, I don't know, man. He's got some points.
Yeah. Oh, panic. Crap. It's been a minute since I've seen this movie. It's blasphemous. Here we go. This feels like a headache to shoot, but it looks so good.
Mm-hmm. Pre-drones too. These cranes for the a lot of wire work probably.
Look who it is.
Look who it is.
It's-
Yeah.
My brother from the following. I always
They
remember
based
that
it-
shirt he's wearing because it's the most like out of place shirt in a Nolan movie.
Yeah, I bet he just
What
showed
do you
up to
call it?
set one day. Not even they didn't even dress him up. They were just like, yeah, he's fine.
Just put him in.
Yeah, he just shows up. One of my favorite there's no relation to this movie at all. One of my favorite show up stories is in The Holiday when Dustin Hoffman shows up in the the blockbuster. He was eating
Oh
lunch
yeah.
next he's eating lunch next door and he's like, what are they filming over there? And they're like, oh, it's The Holiday, Nancy Meyer. She's like, oh, cool. So he just like walks up and then he was sitting at the monitor watching everything. She's like, you want to be in the scene? He's like, yeah.
Okay.
So like,
Sure, I'll
she's
do
like,
it.
because I think she had to pick up The Graduate, and that's when he was doing like the Graduate stuff, and it cut to him. Then he ad libbed that line, like I forget what the line is, but he like ad libbed it, and he didn't get paid for it. Did it for free.
Such a G.
His agent probably called him like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, fucking launching out of there.
I feel like that would be my move. No matter like if anyone comes to us, I'm like, "Yo, get in the movie, get in the movie, hurry up, just get in the
Yeah.
movie, just get in the back. This is for me.
just stand
Come on,
over there.
guys." Because I used to do that in high school. Like when we were shooting stuff, I'd be like, "Guys, okay, y'all good? Okay, I'm gonna get in this real quick."
No Scarecrow. I always loved Scarecrow as a villain growing up. From Batman
He's
animated
cool.
series.
He's got swagger.
I was a big Riddler guy too.
Jim Carrey.
You guys remember that like weird era between 2008 and 2012 when there was like fan castings online of like
Yeah,
what's his name?
DiCaprio, Matt Damon.
It was the dude from
Matt
How I
Damon
Met
was
Your
real,
Mother.
Oh,
Jason Segel.
Neil Patrick Harris. Neil
Barney.
Patrick
Oh,
Harris.
yeah.
Yeah.
Barney.
There was so many fan posters of like just him as the Riddler. I was like, God, you're like, shut up.
I remember they did viral marketing for for The Dark Knight, and they did it for Dark Knight Rises, and they had Dr. Powell. They had like his CIA
Mhm.
forms and everything. I literally printed them out and used them in videos that we made in high school. Where it's like we're showing like the president like files, and it's Dr. Powell, and I hadn't even seen the Dark Knight Rises yet.
The Dark Knight had some really good viral marketing. So did the second one, or the Dark Knight Rises too.
Yeah,
That'd
We
be
don't really see much of that
terrifying.
anymore.
I think Barbie is the only one recently where it's like whatever they did marketing wise was just they hit the culture. And I don't think it was because, people like Barbie.
Do you guys remember the one that they did for like The Ring in 2002 or 2003?
No.
I don't believe no.
I mean, the whole premise of The Ring is like this videotape that
Yeah, the
has like a
VCR,
cursed
yeah.
like video on it. Yeah, so whenever that film was about to release, a bunch of people from the marketing team, like in LA, New York, wherever they could find it really, during screenings of movies at night, they would go to the parking lots of movie theaters and just leave like a videotape on people's cars that just had the videotape, like the
That's
video
hell
on it.
no. Hell no.
Or like I think they said like a lot of places like Hot Topic and Spencer's, places that like have like that sort of like vibe to it. They'd ask them to like put it into people's bags and then they'd
They
take it
should
home
have
with
just
them, not
done
even
it at
realizing it.
why didn't they just do it at Blockbusters? They could have had a
I think they said Blockbuster, they did it as well a few times, but it didn't work as well because people
Boost?
were very specific about what they were getting. Like they knew what they were getting, you know what I
Okay.
mean?
yeah.
That's terrifying.
Nosferatu?
Like, yeah.
I love this
You
mask
think
right
you think
here.
when he was like flying, he's probably like, damn, this looks sick, probably. Me gliding this far. Yeah, it's like a little like Bane mask.
Yeah.
No. I came back to stop you. Was Batman your favorite superhero growing up?
Who, me?
Both of
Still
you.
is.
Same.
I think growing up, I don't know. It's tough. It's probably Batman or Spider-Man.
Same.
I was always
Those are my
Batman.
top two. But because I think it's because of all the Batman shows and like Justice League
Yeah.
and then the 94 Spider-Man show, just influential stuff. Like it doesn't
Animated
get
series. Mask of the
but it's like
Phantasm.
or I literally just got the Blu-ray on deck. That and whatever.
Masterpiece.
The Batman.
My favorite Batman movie, Mask of the Phantasm.
I still remember watching it for the first time because I think I told you I was going through all the Batman movies, like the animated ones. It was from the library, and it's like they had Sub-Zero, they had the Catwoman, and all these ones, and then they had Mask of Phantasm. And I watched that, and just it hit you like a bag of rocks. I was like, "Whoa, y'all doing this with Batman?" I'm like,
Yeah.
"Y'all understand what Batman actually is?" I was like, hold up, y'all
I don't
cooked.
I don't watch any of their new like DC still makes all their animated movies. I don't watch them.
And I've seen 97% of them, meaning like I haven't seen the last recent like three. I've seen every
They
single
still crank them
one
out.
from dog crap to to look good to y'all kind of hit there. None of them have been really great recently,
They have
or
they have the
none of them
new
been really good recently, honestly.
they have the new Amazon show coming out this year. Batman animated.
Is that the one that Bruce
Yeah.
Timm, JJ? That show?
Mhm.
Okay.
It comes out in
It
August, I
honestly,
think.
from the photo I saw, it looked a little low budget.
You'll
Yeah,
see the
surprisingly
Spider-Man Noir
good
show
about
that they just ordered.
Yeah, that I'm
Mhm.
excited for. We'll see how they translate. I hope they really they hit the style with that. If y'all are really gonna, I've already said it. It's like, you're going from the better format of animation to live action only because it's Nick Cage. Only reason I'm condoning it, honestly. And it feels like those guys have their heads on right. Like Chris Miller, Lord.
I don't even know if
Here
they're
we go.
involved. I haven't looked at it
They
at all.
are.
I love how
They
I
are.
saw Chris retweet it and I saw Peter Ramsey comment, and I was like, okay, that means this is serious.
I love how in this movie he really only does it in this movie. It's like he'll jump up to an area and then he'll like squat and like look at you
Like
he
he's
just
got to
did it right
establish his
there.
dominance for a minute.
Yeah, it just be like, hey, it's me again. Like he just did it right there again.
Surprise, asshole.
Yeah, I'm back.
I like how they put the
Thing is that
they put the
moving.
railings up there.
You must have been booking.
Come on, Gary, you got this.
This is this little piece right here on the street. That's what Reeves's Batman, like his Gotham City, looks like. But I feel like there's a little bit more rain
like,
too.
I feel like
Between
remember
the
the opening of
between the three Arkham games, the Batman ones, which one do you guys think is the weakest? And let me ask you if it's for a specific reason. So which one is
I
it?
only ever played
I
the
think
first
it's
one,
the
so
most.
I'm probably not
Is
the
it
right person
the?
to ask.
Was it the last one? I don't remember.
Arkham Knight. Arkham Knight was the
Yeah,
last
that's the
one.
one.
I thought that was the weakest.
That's the one. Yeah, that wasn't.
And so it's gonna sound crazy, but I think the addition of being able to actually use the Batmobile ruined it.
Yeah, I
It
understand.
makes
that.
it really hard to like feel like there's any sense of I
That
guess you
game
could
was
say like
frustrating. Honestly,
experience or adventure.
it was frustrating.
Yes, and it's really hard to use.
Yeah.
I
As
mean,
cool
he's
as it
trying to
looks in
tell
the
me right
movies,
now.
like it does not feel like that playing the game.
But the
He's getting his
game,
ass whooped.
when it comes to the fighting, it's better and it's so
Oh
good.
yeah.
So good to the point where they're like, Spider-Man was like, yeah, we got to get on this.
The first and second ones are great.
What? What do you mean?
So at this point, it's they did a lot of this. This was I don't know. It holds up so well, and there's a meld of like different pieces of filmmaking here, like whether what's real and what's fake, and they did it right scale wise, because
It's a good mix of CG and practical. Like it doesn't make you question much.
Mhm.
this obviously this is a set right here, but not obviously it doesn't look I can't tell where the line is, put it that way, between real and fake, which is the best
That's
thing.
a very good way of putting it. Yeah.
It just looks real to me. It exists.
That
What
thing
is
where
this
the train
speed?
falls off the end of the back, I personally like. I think of Skyfall every time that shot comes up. Like it's almost a reverse Skyfall,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. Like he
Yeah,
flies
like
out,
Yeah.
he flies in.
they probably took that for you never know. They probably watched that
I would
scene.
not be surprised. Yeah,
I mean, Sam Mendes took from Nolan. The guys, I forgot the guys who write Bond movies there. I give them a lot of crap. But it's like they literally were like, "Oh, let's Dark Knight this finally." And that's what
Mm.
Skyfall is. That's why anybody can say like, "Oh, that's Craig's best movie." No, it's not. It's great, but it's not better than Casino Royale.
Casino Royale is his best. Yeah, we were literally talking about that at work today.
And it's like it's the last 30 minutes that always makes it for me. It's like if that's not there, the whole movie is not great.
Him flying with the Wayne Tower in the back.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
Bro, they did her dirty. Her hair was not done properly. Yours.
Yours, but
It's like,
the guy that's names on the building gave me your job. So
I like the little details. We see when he's driving, Alfred has he has the driver
the
gloves.
gloves, the gloves. Yeah,
Mhm.
I know.
What?
I love when he throws this line back at him. Two back to back. Didn't you get the memo?
Here we go.
Didn't you get the memo?
He's like, I've seen things you wouldn't believe. Right, Vikash?
Where's the dove? Where's the dove? He's got to be holding a dove.
The stockholders will ultimately end up like tears in the
There's some
rain.
rain.
In the rain.
And then he just lets out like from his hand just a pile of money and he dies.
Hey Rachel,
You'll
I'm
never know what
boarding
it's
up
like to
the
live in fear.
boarding up the hole because I'm over bats now.
I will say this right here, very traditional over the shoulder,
Mm. There's interesting like color design there too,
I like the
because
colors.
obviously everything's burnt around them, so they stand
But
out
there's enough
so
green.
much. Yeah, especially on the shot with her, like they stand out so much. I love it.
I think it's kind of foreshadowing a little bit. Like he's growing into his own, and then she's also just standing in a pile of rubble,
Until she sees
like the
Harvey
reverse shots.
Dent.
Yeah.
She's like,
I mean,
"Oh,
okay.
You guys remember the
that."
Nickelback
No.
ad for
No,
this?
but who's hotter though? Yes, I do. Baylor, I mean not Baylor, yeah, Baylor Eckhart. Like genuinely.
I
I
think
think it's
Bale
Bale.
is
No?
Eckert's more handsome, but I think Bale's hotter.
I've also heard
Yeah.
Eckhart's kind of an ass too, but I mean,
Checks
Christian-
out.
What?
we talk about it. Was standing right here. Remember that whole sequence we just went through?
Like, did you watch the last 2 hours?
Yeah.
You
watch the last
see
30
what I'm
minutes?
seeing, girl?
Everyone else flying around the city as Batman. much.
I like that the most emotional moment of the next movie is just him holding a card. That's it. Right? He
Mhm.
reads the card. He's just sitting there.
Mhm.
And it's that blue. The blue that he brings in is the blue you I feel like you
There's
can only
that-
get on film.
There's that English background.
English. Yeah. Yep. They ain't got this in America besides like Pennsylvania.
Yeah, there'd be more trees. It's not that much like open field like that. I mean, there probably is, but
Because we don't
That's fair.
have open fields like that in Georgia. I feel like it's more like, West Virginia, like Appalachia sort of area.
that shot always gives me when he's with his dad right there. It gives me Prestige vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing.
Yeah, so like that shot, they shot that at night. That's with him and his dad. Like it's so the window's so blown out. Yeah, that's so English in the background.
Yeah.
He's got some great hair in this movie, man. All right,
He's giving
That's
real
here's your
polo.
post-credit scene. Here's your post-credit scene.
Oh yeah, my bad. And realistically, if this was released by any other studio today, this would be post-credit scene.
Oh,
Yeah.
But I love how they didn't start with the Joker. Like, because that's obviously
Mm-hmm. It's
the
bold.
most famous, besides Darth Vader, the Joker is the most famous villain in like culture.
I'm sitting here
Batman
just
and
looking at the
Joker.
shot choices here. They really work. And I feel like, and I'm comparing it to today where it's like they would usually do these sorts
He's
of shots
already-
on top of a roof on a, on a set.
It'd be a 2-shot too.
He's already using a lot of blues too. You notice this? Like
Yeah.
the background, all the
Maybe.
blue.
Oh,
like
Yeah.
it's
did we
already
not-
kind
have we
of
not talked
leaning
about
into
it
a
yet?
little bit.
That Nolan is colorblind, so he can't see red, and that's why the only movie he's ever really used red in is Tenet. Like the man can't even see the red, and his
I actually
movies
did
kind
not
of
know
like
that.
yeah they kind of beg for
Use
red,
a
but he
calling
never
card.
has reds.
Joker. What if it's just
I'll
like
look
a
into
2?
it.
Just like a 2 of hearts.
And you'll never have to.
You'll never have to.
The way he had to turn his whole freaking body around to say that.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite parts about I love the detective stuff from the comics, and I love the relationship that he and Jim always have. Batman Begins, man. And that's what the base of this movie is, right? And they put it even further in the next one. David S. Goyer is lucky that he has his name on like this, The Dark Knight, even Man of Steel, he's got his name on it. And I very much but that's the thing, he brings a little base, but like he ain't bringing none of the sauce.
This podcast is hosted and edited by Pat Brennan. That's me, with intro and closing music by Patrick Baxter.